6. Man Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Good to see everybody here meeting me early this morning. 11 a.m. stream, getting out of here. I do have to disclose that there is a possibility that I'll receive a phone call which would require my immediate exit, but we're going to hope that doesn't happen. I'm excited for today's stream. I hope you guys are too. We are in the lovely Saab 340 from Leading Edge Simulations. Now, you guys know I love turboprops. I've been around the channel. You know I flew turboprops before. And let me turn my phone off so you guys don't hear it dinging all day. And my first turbine experience was through well, that's not true, actually. My first turbine experience was, in fact, a citation. But I did fly turboprops a lot. My first PIC time, captain time that I really logged was in turboprops. So they are near and dear to my heart. I hope you guys are ready to maybe learn something. I think this aircraft is probably one of the most underrated airplanes that we still have in X-Plane. And I think Dimitri can attest to that. This plane has been around a long time, since X-Plane 10. It's received some updates. And I still think it's up there, man. IXCG, the 733 is awesome from the X Aviation store, and so is this Saab. I mean, it has withheld the test of time. So, quick shout out to everybody in the chat there. Scott Rashley, good to see you, man. Good day, everyone. Looking forward to learning something today. I don't know about this aircraft. I hope I can teach you. I'm gonna try my best to kind of use the real world procedures, but I really like the checklist format that they have. So I'm kind of gonna go through how the checklist that's already in the airplane works. And so as long as that is along, every operator does things different, and we're going to talk about a couple of different things about engine starting and pushback and stuff like that. But I hope I'll be able to teach you something. Scott, welcome aboard. Alexandra, welcome. Gene Hoffman, good to see you. Dougal McTavish, good to see you as well. Of course, Dimitri in the house. Dedication, my friend, for you to clear work schedule. Hope you enjoy this stream. You want to see some VOR raw data flying. So what I'm planning on doing right now, we got 2 legs set up, guys, and we're going to try to do, well, I have it set up so we're going to use the GPS for the first leg here to get out of the terminal environment. Boston is a very congested airport to fly in and out of, so they got all these RNAV departures. So we're going to use the GPS capability on the first leg, and then the second leg, we might actually have to reposition where I want to be, and then we'll do VOR to VOR flying. Robin H. made it. Good to see you here as well. Sculpture Shock. Anthony Anderson, I know you're driving. Good to see you here. Brian Rosner. Blue Bear. Anthony Anderson. Already said that. Morning to you. Captain Shaquille O'Neal. Good to see you, my friend. Jungle Sim and everybody else in the chat. I don't mean to miss your name, but let's go ahead and get this thing started. We got a lot to set up here. I'm going to do my absolute best to try to keep it streamlined, because this airplane does tend to have you jump around as you set things up. So you can go through the pre-flight checklist here and remove each individual item. So just for an example, if I select here and we go to position 3, let's go to the landing light. You can step through the aircraft and check every single part, which I think it's pretty sweet. Let me go back to the propellers. Yeah, you could check the props, air intake, and then you can remove all of the static wicks. But what I'm going to do to kind of prevent spending 45 minutes on an exterior walk around, I'm just going to go to the ground equipment, and we're going to remove all items except the GPU. And I think we also have to put the chocks in place as well. So we got the chocks set up and the GPU plugged in. That is the only thing that we're gonna leave. And now we're gonna close up the door manually. Well, we'll do that when it's time. But let's go ahead and hop in the airplane. See what I mean? We're already starting to jump around. There's so much that you can do on this airplane. It's pretty crazy. So we're gonna come right back into the cockpit here. Welcome to the Saab 340. I hope you choose to do the Spicer engine startup from the 2. What do you mean by that, Dimitri? So we'll talk about engine start here when we get to the engine start portion of the flight. I've never flown the Saab, but I actually had a lot of guys that flew the Saab with me in cruise when I flew the regionals. So when I flew the Embraer 170, we used to have a Saab fleet. So when that went away, I wasn't part of the Saab fleet, but the guys would come on, we talked about the Saab. So I reached out to a couple of my buddies, and I asked them a couple different questions about, what about this procedure and this procedure? And I've tried to gather that information. I know I'm going to miss a bunch of stuff, but remember, this airplane is very SOP specific from what I gather, because I see what a lot of European operators do, how they operate it. I see how Silver Airways, they're probably the largest airway or Saab operator in the US still, how they kind of operate, and it's all a little bit different. So we're going to do our best to kind of consolidate all that. One thing before I do get officially started, we have to open up the window shades here, because it's going to drive me nuts as I step through the cabin wanting to see these juicy wing views here. But we actually have to come through the cabin and open up our window shades. I meant to do this before the stream started. I apologize, so bear with me as I go through the window shade opening. Ooh, that one's open. That's awesome. That one's open. And that one we just need to open a little bit more. So let me back up. There we go. All right, here we go. We're back in it. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go up to the top here. We're going to go ahead and, like I said, we can use the virtual checklist, which we're going to kind of use for the before engine start. And I'm just going to use this to get me through the cockpit. So we're going to go battery 1, battery 2. Hopefully the sounds are going to be all right. Now we're going to cancel those master warning, master caution lights. And what we also want to do is, while we're up here, we're going to connect the external power to on. And then avionics, we're going to go essential avionics on first. I'm going to verify that external power is working, which it is. Let me turn on the dome light, turn on the panel lights here. I'm going to turn on all our lights. It's 6 a.m. here, 5 a.m. locally. I've got the time set. Left avionics first, right avionics second. That should be good there. All right, bleed valves, we're going to reset and auto. Oxygen on and checked, so we're going to come here. I love how this moves you through the cockpit. Our circuit breakers are all checked and in. Flight recorder, and you can also set your flight number. So we're operating this as Colgan 357 today with a through flight all the way down to Washington National. So Colgan 357 flight number is set. Parking brake is set, that is on. Cabin signs, we're going to come up here. We'll leave the seatbelts off, we'll turn the no smoking on, and while I'm up here I'm going to go ahead and turn the nav light on. Everything else can stay off at this point here. Engine instruments ignition checked, everything is auto, that's normal. Auto Corson is off, the boot indicator is on. Nothing else needs to be checked up here. I'm going to just make sure everything is in the right position. They do a pretty good job of having all the switches in the proper cold and dark position before you even get started. Fuel quantity is checked. We've got about 750 kilos aside. We've got a little bit extra gas today. Jeremy said you heard that sound reminded you of the autopilot disconnect. Yeah, the sounds in this airplane are really good. Hopefully the sounds are okay coming through the stream. Let me know if I need to turn them up or turn them down. But the sound set on this is really good. Alright, so where was I at here? Let me go ahead and get everything set. Hydraulic fuel quantity checked. Hydraulics, we want to check everything is good. Hydraulic quantity is in the green. Pressurization, landing elevator. Since I'm looking at it here, I'm going to set the field elevations about like 20 feet, so right about there. That looks good. Hydraulics count pressure set. Power condition levers, they are ground, idle, and cut off. Trims are set, all in the green over here. Takeoff briefing, we'll check all that out. Alright, so now that we're sitting here, let's officially get our avionics set up. So we got to turn on our Garmin, brighten it up here a little bit, and let's pull up our flight plan. This is our first one here, Boston LaGuardia. Now, in theory, I should have, this is kind of an overview, I should have this already loaded up in the Garmin here. We might have to put the departure in, but this is a real route. I always hated doing this. So I was based on the East Coast for several years, and going Boston LaGuardia, straight line distance, it's not very far, and especially in an Embraer, it's a really quick flight. But they always put you on these weird, they send you all the way inland, then a 90-degree angle. It just takes a lot of time. So what should be about a 25-minute flight ends up taking, you know, a little over an hour. So if we don't, it looks like we don't have any ATC online, so we'll probably give ourselves some shortcuts today. Like I said, for the next flight, we're going to use the round gauge, but there's so much congestion here on the East Coast that they really have these RNAV procedures set up for us to fly. So there is our route. So let's go ahead and hit enter. All right, so it looks like our flight plan is in there, except it doesn't have the departure. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and select departure. And we are going to be on the PATS 5 RNAV departure. And we're going to be departing runway 9, I believe. Let me take a quick look at the weather conditions. Boston right now, winds are 110 at 9er, so perfect. We're going to blast off runway 9er. Select that. We can load that. And now we can kind of scroll through our flight plan here. Push for cursor. We've got all that LaGuardia. So it comes down Pat's, Harp, Crawley, and the Vector. So it doesn't have the Valerie 3 in there, or the Harp 3. So now we're going to go procedure, arrival, and we're going to load up the Harp 3. And we're going to load this one from Albany, I believe. We're just going to load it. We don't have to activate or anything, but just so we have it in there. And like I said, we're probably going to shorten up our route of flight a little bit since we don't have any ATC online. Let's get some likes for the steam gauges. I totally agree. I love this old round gauge, man. It's absolutely awesome. Let me go ahead and turn on the floodlights here. Go bright mode, instrument lights. Let's turn these on. And we also need to get a current altimeter setting, which is 3042. So I'm going to come in here. That's a big change. 3042. I can tell the altimeter was all jacked up. 3042 set once, and over here is the secondary. 3042. So this airplane is very much a set. You need to take your time in the setup. Make sure everything is ready to go before you go. Lauren V, exactly. I saw your comment. But this, you have to set everything up before you get going, because if you take off, if you blast off with this airplane without everything properly set up, you're just going to be what we call asses and elbows, and it's just going to be really hard to kind of get everything back on track for you. So what I'm going to set up here now is my EFIS. So I'm going to use my selector. I want to go, I I think I want this one, right? Yeah, that's the one I want. We don't need the barrow needle, and I'm going to select my nav. So lateral navigation selected. I've got that set there. Loc 2, there's nothing tuned in, so that's normal to see that. But I got my data on there, and our flight directors are already set. No DH set. We don't need to do that right now, but that all looks good. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the ground handling. You guys can get out of here. Watch them get out. Light her up, Captain, to start. Yeah, we're going to light it up, man. Early morning. No one ever pronounces that right. It's Albany. What did I say? Albany? Albany? I say Albany. Albany, Albany. Alb. What is the time on your side here? It's 9:40. It's 11:12 over here right now. 11:12 in the morning. But I made this an early morning flight to kind of simulate that early morning stuff. Alright, so now we're going to come back here. We actually have to... Let's go ahead and close up that aft cargo bin. So we're going to run down the stairs here real quick. And we're going to do a couple checklists. I'm going to come down under the wing. And we're going to walk over here to our cargo door. We got our cargo in there. So to do this, we close here. And then we have to lock the T-bar or whatever it's called. That looks good. Come back down underneath the wing here. There goes the passenger Cobus 3000. Beautiful. Alright, now to close the door. I love closing the door from the inside. Really well modeled here. And you have all of the cabin lights here. Let's go window and overhead. Window light on, overhead light on. Look at this. You can turn on all the cabin lights too. Alright, so to close up the door, we're going to click on the red button there. Back up here a minute. Then we click on this switch to slide the stairs over. Now we can click on the door. And we're going to lock the door. And then we're going to arm the door. And then we can swing our jump seat back over. Beautiful. Alright, let's come back up to the front here. Let's run through a couple other checklists. Virtual checklist. So we've done all of this. That's all set. Let's call the pushback truck to start. I just do a straight
ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
We're going to go straight back.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Wow, that's really loud. Hide all. Okay, we'll hide the trucks. All right, so on engine start procedure, yeah, we're going to do a no flaps takeoff, Dimitri, on this one. We got plenty of runway. So I've been trying to dig around, trying to find out which engine do you start first? Can you do it during a pushback? So this is what I've gathered from asking around. So in the US, the GPU cart is typically plugged in, and then the cart is left on the left side of the aircraft, so over here behind the number 1 engine. So what they do is they start the number 2 engine, they leave it in the feathered position, they can commence the pushback. That way you get one start off the GPU. You can then disconnect the GPU and do a pushback, and you can walk under here and not be blasted.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
So in theory, what we should do with the GPU on this side is start the number 1 engine and then push back. But we're going to do how Silver does it and how I've seen some Colgan flights, how they've done it. So we're just
winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
I don't know why that guy is so loud. I don't know why that guy is so loud. How is he so loud? He's louder than everything in the sim. Anyway, so we're going to start number 2 first, simulating that that's not there and that it's actually on the other side. So let me come back up here real quick. We got to arm the emergency lights. Emergency lights armed. Beacon light is on. Seatbelt light is on. And what we do for engine start, we're going to kill the left and right. We're going to only keep our essential avionics on. And then we're going to clear prop and start engine. And oh, before we do that, that won't start. We're going to take our condition lever here out and put it into the start position, and then I'm going to bring up my Saab throttle quadrant, and I'm going to move the thrust levers to the ground idle position right there. So that's how they should be, and we've got that in the start position. Beacon is on. Clear prop, turn in 2. 1, 2, 3. We'll monitor the start here. We're going to leave this in the they're in the feathered mode. Waiting for about 60% NG before we can disconnect the GPU and we can have a good start. We'll verify that we have good generator power. This is not Coronado. This is the LES, Leading Edge Simulations. Is the LES the most complicated aircraft? I don't know if I'd say most complicated, but it's definitely up there. Alright, so there we go. It's spooling up. Looks like the starter disengaged. Temps are good. Dimitri, I might have agree with you there. The Rotate MD-80 is probably one of, if not the most complex out there. All right, we're in the green there up top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go right generator, reset, and on. I'm going to come over here, verify that we get generator power, give it a couple seconds. No, I believe... There we go. External power off, right generator is on and in the green. So we're running off that number 2 engine. We're going to go ahead and leave the avionics off, and we are good to push. So let's go ahead and release the parking brake. Oop, disregard. See, they got mad at me. Now what we can do is pull the ground card. There we go. Did a little bit out of order. Don't need you, I need you. So let's go ahead and pull the wheel chocks and disconnect the GPU. Now we can release the parking brake, commence the pushback. So they're going to winch us up, and then we're out of here. Scott, I agree. Great plane. Do I like this bird? I love this bird, man. I think it
Starting
is
pushback.
one of the most underrated airplanes in X-Plane, 100%. It is a ton of fun to fly. It's fun to hand fly. And a lot of times those props, the light props that we fly around, they just don't feel right. This one, it feels good. When I'm using a honeycomb yoke, it pairs up really nice. I'm loving it. FT Sim does have the Saab sounds available. Micah, I did not notice that. I might have to check that out next time. There we go. We're pushing back. Looks like we got an Airbus over here. Beautiful, beautiful. Just sitting there with the props feathered. I love that. Isn't that cool? Sitting there with a feathered prop. And this one's stationary. Look at that. Like just kind of starting to windmill there by itself. So awesome. Is it workable with the GTN 750? I would imagine. I don't know. That would be a question for Dimitri. I know Coronado has a version of this airplane that you can use the GTN 750, but again, it's Coronado. I have no experience with the Coronado version, but knowing what I know about Coronado, I'm sticking with the LES Saab version. Louis says, thank you for not streaming the Zebo or an A320. Streams were getting very boring. You got it, Louis. We got ourselves a prop day today. I love flying turboprops. Get the new Boston. I didn't even know there was a new Boston. Christian from Mr. X. Updated one, I guess, then? Is that what you're talking at? So I believe we can go ahead and turn engine number 1 now as well. So we are good to start. Let's go ahead and start engine. Oh, see, forgot to do that. That's going to get you every time. Now this pushback truck tends to get a little bit wonky. I think he's going to stop us. Let's just stop and then...
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
All right, brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Roger, we're starting number 1. Here we go, we're turning up that number 1 engine now. We're going to leave them both in the feathered position until they disconnect. Jeremy, you're absolutely right. Saab Airplane and Saab Automobile were the same company, exactly. They also had a couple jets, military aircraft. what's happened with that animation there. Got a little funky. Checking our props, monitoring our NG here. Updated
Nose
Mr. X
disconnected
Boston.
and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, well now that I'm bleeding from the frickin' ears here, man, thanks for that. Thanks for the push. We'll see you next time. Alright, he's pulling off out there. So now what we do, it's very handy as the Saab. I still got to get a proper throttle quadrant. Alright, so we've got 2 engines started. I'm going to go ahead and come back up here. We're going to reset the left generator. There it is. It's online. So left generator, right generator are online. We can go left avionics, right avionics. And now let's go ahead and unfeather the props. This is where you get the cool sound. Going to min, and then max. Enter that. Our flight plan is still in the box. That is good. Verify everything else is we're heading vertical speed 0. That's fine right now. LNAV is still set. That is good. Let's run an after start checklist here. And then we got to do a couple things on the overhead from our flow. I'm going to go auto on those valves right there. We're going to go recircs on, and then up here we've got to go standby pitot on, norm on, normal. We don't need prop anti-ice or engine anti-ice. I believe I got to reset these gens now. Oh no, it looks like they're coming on. Oh, that's good. All right, so after engine start checklist, auto coursing. Oop, forgot that one. That is on. Bus tie checked auto. External power checked off. Generators are on and reset. Air conditioning, we already did that here. Temperature 20C, that looks good. We'll leave it just where it is. Auto, and recirc fans are on. Beautiful. Emergency lights are armed and checked. Fuel used to reset. Push to reset that. Well, there we go. Condition levers max. Ice protection is set and checked. The lights are out. No prop heats or no engine heats are required. Overhead panel, lights out, looks good. EFIS is checked. We got LRN 1. Beautiful. And I'm going to set my heading bug. We're going off runway 9er, so I'm going to just go ahead and set runway heading about 090. Done. Taxi check. Brakes, altimeters are cross-checked. We got 3042 and 3042 set twice. Flight instruments and radios are checked. The techs are not modeled. CTO. This is one thing we got a continuous takeoff thrust. We're going to set, I'm going to set 100%. And there's a whole section of reading about what the CTOT does, or CTOT, but right now we've got it armed basically 64%. It's going to automatically set your thrust for you, and we're going to set it to 100% for the temperature that we've got outside today. That looks good. Briefing is complete. Let's go ahead and turn the taxi light on and get out of here. Oh, one more thing. Nose wheel steering is on. Let's do a drive-by view. Gotta love it. Alright, we should probably set our radios, which I should have put us on 122.8. I'm kind of taxiing and looking way down here by my right-hand side. 22.8 is set, and we're back on it. There we go. Alright, we're out of here. Let's pull up a chart, shall we? Taxi around like I know where I'm going.
Boston traffic, United 233 crossing 22 right before left.
Boston traffic, Colgan 357. We're leaving the Terminal B, headed to runway 9er. We'll advise crossing all runways. Boston.
Boston traffic, United 233 cleared. 4 left and 22 right.
Set IAS to set my speed bug 180. Climb out, that's close enough. Boston traffic, Colgan 357, crossing 4 left, 22, taxi into 9, Boston. Clear left, clear right. Let's get our landing lights on. Based on my load, CTO 108. All right, Dimitri, I'll set that as soon as I jump in. Thank you.
Boston traffic, United 233, get ready to cross 4 right.
Going into that beta mode, I love it. Alright, back up front here.
Traffic, United 233, cleared 4 right. Boston traffic.
Boston traffic, Colgan 357, clear, 4 left. Alright, 108 on the CTO, Dimitri. You said 108, should be right about there. Check. We're going to hold short here, we'll go through the rest of our takeoff checks.
Traffic, let's proceed to model taking off to the right.
Alright, go ahead and kill the taxi light. Hold short of runway 9er. Set the brake. That is too cool. Boston in the background with the big ship there. All right, let's go ahead and look at our checklist.
233 left crossing.
All right.
3 left and 15 right.
External lights will set that. Takeoff signal, air conditioning set transponder. We do want to set that to 2,000. I forgot to set that from the last time I was flying, so let me come down here real quick. Set 200.
Boston traffic clear. Clear 33 left. Boston traffic.
Squawk set on 2,000. Altitude is set. Alright, CTO 105 is set. Micah. Alright, is everybody clear? Let me just see what everyone else is doing. He just departed off of 22. Runway 9 looks clear. Boston traffic, Colgan 357, lining up runway 09, Boston.
Boston traffic, Western 622, taxi to runway 09, Echo.
Takeoff inhibit on. External light sets, takeoff given, air conditioning set, transponder set, flight controls check, CWP is checked, takeoff inhibit is on. Our top altitude, since we don't have ATC today, we're going to go all the way up to our cruise altitude, which I've got to set at 19,000. I love it. I mean, there's nothing better than the sound of a turboprop in beta mode. It changed my mind. I mean, there's nothing better than the sound of a turboprop in beta mode. Alright, you guys ready? Boston. He's holding short in Boston traffic. Over 357 departing runway 9er Boston. Looks like he's holding short. There we go. Stabilize the props nice and smooth. Increase that torque. Looking for 64%, and then that seat toe is going to take over. There it is. It's setting the thrust. Auto course and arm. Here we go. Power set. Don't do this in real life. 100 knots. Rotate. Is it a brake? You're up. Vertical speed sync. Boston traffic, Oakland 357, clear runway 9er headed to the south. Last call, Boston.
Boston traffic, United 233, lining up runway 27.
Alright, there is 1,000 feet. Nav. We're beginning to lower those, accelerate. We're looking for about 100 and, was it 180? 160 in the climb now. Set 160 initially here, and to help me out I'm going to go autopilot on. That's set. Up to the overhead, auto course and off. Now we're going to disarm the seat toe. We're just going to drop our thrust. Now we have to set your power there. Come back up with that. Monitoring your percent NG here. We're about 82% is set. And we're nabbing. How cool is that?
Boston traffic, United 233, blasting off runway 27, at spot departure in the southwest.
Alright, let's do a quick checklist here before I forget, and then we're going to enjoy the views. Alright, so climb check. Gear up. Check. Ice protection is not needed. Auto course and off. External lights were below 10. We're going to leave it. Cabin signs are still on. Air conditioning is set. Takeoff inhibit. Verify that is out. Checked. Cabin pressure. We are climbing. We are climbing. That is good. Prop sync is coming on. Seat toe off. Check. Altimeters cross. Check. We're looking good. Now, since there's no ATC on, we're not going to fly this whole route all the way up to Claw. Let's do a flight plan direct right turn to Wimpth. Direct, enter.
Boston traffic, United
We're in the turn.
233, cleared runway 27 and climbing via past 5 departure.
160 normal. Thank you, Dimitri. I was thinking 160 or 180, so let's go ahead and increase that speed. 160 on the IAS climb out. Let's enjoy this code right here. Turn down the sounds for you a little bit. How about that for a juice view? We need a Navin icon. Oh, I totally forgot to get the new emojis in. Totally forgot to get the new emojis in there. Alright, let's go ahead and make sure we're still doing alright. We're 6.3. I'm going to redirect us... Wait, where are we at? Wimpth to Dedham. Redirect us there.
2,400. Past 5 departure, last call.
Things are looking good here. Let's go ahead and sync that heading bug. Spin that around. Brian V, welcome back to Commercial Pilot, my friend. Glad to have you on board. Oh, that's cool. Boston out the wing there. Let's go if we can. Well, I guess we got to sit behind the engine here. Look at that. Boston in the haze of the sunrise. Chris, I totally agree, man. This airplane is really cool. Micah, your airplane's been in maintenance for over a month now. But because weather is so poor after each... Oh, man, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. John, 22 years on a turboprop. First time was Eagle in 1999, Miami, NASA, and an ATR. Wow. I bet I knew somebody who flew that. I had a couple buddies that flew the ATR out there in the Bahamas. I'm trying to remember where the base was for Eagle back then. But yeah, flying the ATR, man, 1999. That's crazy. All right, we're holding a nice 160 knots, climbing about 1,200 feet a minute. We're looking good. I'm gonna go ahead. I can go to a vertical speed climb out here, but we're gonna just maintain. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to increase speed. I'm gonna bump up the thrust here as we climb. Just be careful you monitor that engine NG, holding right at the edge there. What is beta in a turboprop? I'm gonna go climb. Let's see what she does. 182 now. Yeah, but see now it's gonna want to descend. That's why I didn't want to do that. Yeah, so she likes to level off at least. 182 climb, we're looking good. Almost at a 10,000 feet. So a beta, what beta is okay, so in a turboprop, you have to think of the propeller blade as a small airfoil. So, and I gotta turn down X-plane a little bit here. I love the sound of the airplane, but the drones are gonna put me to sleep. So, it's a small wing, right? The prop has an angle of attack. As it cuts through the air, it's actually creating lift in the forward direction. So what a beta mode does is it essentially will manipulate the blade angle to what we call a flat pitch. And if it's completely flat, you don't have any AOA on the propeller blades as it spins through the air. Therefore, it does not create thrust to pull you forward. So turboprops, especially light airplane, King Air, a Caravan, anything that's relatively light, and you got a turboprop out there. When you're in a forward pitch mode, the airplane just wants to run away from you. The King Air 350, specifically at X-plane, does a very good job of modeling this. So when you bring the thrust levers or the prop or the throttle, well, I guess there'd be throttle levers into the beta position, you're now reducing that angle of attack and reducing the amount of thrust that blade is producing so it doesn't pull you forward and you're not riding the brakes. Now, as you go into reverse, what happens is that blade angle continues to change negative, and then it actually starts to create forward thrust, which is essentially reverse thrust, and slows you down. So you have a beta range, and depending on the aircraft model, so I knew some, like the King Airs all have detents. Some of the Beech 99s didn't have any detents, so you would just, as soon as you lift over the first gate, you were considered in a beta mode, and then any additional pull back on the thrust levers, you were now entering reverse mode, and you were manipulating that blade to actually a negative pitch, creating forward thrust, i.e. reverse thrust. But that's a very basic example. I did a video in the piston series I was in the Piper Chieftain, and I did a whole thing about blade angles and stuff. So if you want to learn more, that would be one to check out for you. All right, so we're torque limited here. Or I'm sorry, not torque limited. We're RPM limited. Get a little bit more juice. I don't want to overcook the engines there. Let's come back. Keep it set right about there. 80% torque. We're looking good. Props are still full forward. We'll bring it back to about 1350 as we level off. And you know what? Since we are this heavy, I am going to set the cruise altitude at 16,000 feet. That is set. Let's look at our GPS here. I really don't want to fly all the way out there. So what we're going to do is on our flight plan, after Albany stopped PWL. So what we're going to do is we're going to go direct. There we go. How's that? We're going to go direct PWL. Man, that's still a long time en route. That's alright. Give us some time to hang out here as we watch the sunrise. Oh, you know what? I forgot my lights. Hold on. We're way through 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and kill all those lights. Nav beacon strobe. It's a smooth ride. We'll go ahead and kill the seatbelt sign. Now we can go back outside. Captain Tom, what's up, man? I didn't think you would make it today. You were going to fly, but it's stormy. Yeah, it's been raining all day here in Dallas. It's been raining yesterday, too. Did I fly the 99 for Air Flight? Nate C., you bet, my friend. You bet. Good old 99. Heck of an airplane. Scott Rashley coming in with a $25 donation. Thank you so much, man. He says, thanks for the stream. I look forward to the second leg. I'll have to watch the replay as I must leave for an appointment. Have a great flight. Scott, thank you so much for your support, man. Really appreciate that $25 donation. Really appreciate that. I hope you have a good appointment. I'm not sure if you're going to the doctor or eye appointment or something like that, so hope you have a good appointment. And for the next leg, that reminds me, we have to discuss. So what I was going to do for the second leg is I was going to do LaGuardia to DC, but that just seems, that's too far. That's just a long flight. So what I want to do is I might reset, we might have to reload and go from, I'm thinking we go from Philly to DC, because I think it would be fun to fly into Washington National and do the river visual with this airplane, but I don't want to do it all the way from LaGuardia. That just seems like an extra 30 minutes. So what we'll do is we'll land in LaGuardia, I'll reposition the airplane in Philly, and then we'll do a quick flight down to Washington, DC, and we'll try to figure out a route of flight that will allow us to just use a VOR navigation on the way down there. What's my TT? Always below 710. Isn't that max cruise, Dimitri? I'm pretty sure we can. I'm pretty sure we're okay. I ain't got time to come back to 710 EGT. That's like 40% torque. All right, 1,000 feet to go. We're going to level off here. We're going to bring the props back. Nantucket? I wonder if I have a Nantucket scenery. I thought I did. We could go from Nantucket. Love the Northeast shuttle flights. Do them a lot in the Tolis 319. Travis, absolutely, man. So this is the OG U.S. Airways shuttle. I mean, this is the OG shuttle flights up and down the East Coast, and then we did them on the Embraers, and then I'm pretty sure they're running Airbuses on them now, or maybe 220s. Atlantic City to DCA? I don't know if Airways flew out of Atlantic City. I don't think they did. Aaron Hastings says, arriving a bit late today. Lovely plane. Would really love a decent Saab 2000 for X-Plane. Yeah, so that's the new one, right? Is that what Silver got? Oh, no, they got the ATRs. What did Silver get? I got to look that up now. I think they got the ATRs. Silver Airways. Yeah, the 2000 is the stretch version of this. Okay. All right, there's 16,000 feet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring our props back to 1350. $13.50 is set. And we should yield about 180 knots. Let's see here. Let's go through our checklist here. And then I got to pull up that manual because now, Dimitri, you got me wondering about that max ITT. Let's go to, I guess we're in climb, so there's no cruise check, but everything else is set. We're still below transition altitude, so we don't need to change our altimeter. I think that should be alright. Was there a, let's see, preferences? Oh, it has its own volume control. Huh. I got it all to 100. I guess I could have turned it down there. Auto engine start. There we go. Nah, we're fine. I just love seeing turboprops again. I can't wait for that Q400. Typical cruise settings are 70% torque, engine RPM 1000, ensures EGT below 710. 70% torque, 1000 to 1100. Hold on, let me pull up. I think I have a reference manual here. Let me see if I can pull this up. Who's that just became a member? Dumbo61, coming in 2-month membership. Thank you so much, Dumbo. Appreciate your support on the channel, my friend. Let me go back here. I'm digging in my X-Plane folder, looking at my resources. Aircraft. Manuals. Here we go. Under charts? I don't think it's under charts. Oh, here we go. Performance charts. Wow, let me look this up here. Max takeoff power, we did all that. I want max continuous power. 150 outside air temperature, no. ECS engine on. At 1564% torque. At 15C, 74% torque at 0. So theoretically, between 74 and 64, max continuous, here we go, 16,000. Max continuous power, 1% for 20 knots. What's our OAT? Let me come back inside here. Now I know there's an OAT gauge, very easy to find if I can just find it. Is it up on the overhead? Nope, that's DC, electric power, air conditioning. Alright, I know it's very easy to find and I'm just being blind. Where is the outside air temperature gauge? Dimitri? Where's the OAT? Oh, is it on the EFIS? No? Where the heck is the OAT? Theoretically, I should be able to go to 74%. So I'm definitely 10% limited NG, so that's 70, so we're 66%. That's about what the manual jives for. Doing 200 knots, so we're okay. We're cooking it hot, but we're still within limitations. It's right in front of you, lower panel. I know it is. I know it's easy to see. You guys already told me it's minus 13C. Wow, isn't this the most frustrated thing when... Oh my gosh, there it is. That's the most frustrated thing, but I can't see it. Oh, man. Minus 13C. Okay, now I can look at it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's so frustrating when the streamer is looking for something and you guys can see it. You know it's super easy, and then they can't figure it out. Oh, boy. All right, we do have to think about our descent here and on our arrival. So we're 13C. We're going to leave it for now. I'm going to go back outside for a minute. I don't know why I said EFIS, AHSI. Thank you, Louis. Captain Tom, you said your explanation of the beta and reverse and these engines reminded the project I did back in the back in engine operation of the PT6 prop governor. Yeah. Man, I dissected that PT6 prop governor when that was, because when I was working for a cargo company, that was the big thing that because a lot of guys had no turbine experience whatsoever, so they wanted you to fully understand everything about the PT6, and we actually had a model that we saw in the hangar and dissected it, man. It was great. And for the check ride, we actually had to briefly draw everything and how the systems were and where the accessory gearbox was, and it just stuck with me. All right, let's look at the arrival for LaGuardia. We said we are on the Harp 3, which actually has some nice radial crossings. Right now we're direct to, I believe we're direct to Pauling, PWL. Let me come back in and verify. Yeah, we are direct PWL. So we can actually set this up. This will kind of help back us up. After Pauling, we want to join the 250 outbound. So we're going to back it up with our manual nav. So in nav 2, we're going to set Pauling, which is 114.3. I'm going to set that here, flip that up into the active. Now we've got VOR2 indicating. And I'm going to come over here so you can see his EFIS, or HSI. So he's got 262 course. We want the 250 course. So course 2, we're going to set 250. So now we can verify once we cross over. I don't need that barrow needle on there. But you can see here the FO has the 250 radial from Pauling. So we're going direct here. Then we're going to track 250 outbound. Then it's the Kingston southbound. And then all the way on the Harp inbound. So the next one we're going to tune is 17.6. So I'm going to load that in the standby. Again, kind of like what I said when we first started this stream, is this airplane you really want to have set up beforehand. So I'm also going to set my nav radios here on the primary. Should I lose GPS and I need to switch over to primary, I'm going to go 14.3 and 17.6 in the standby for my nav radios 1 and 2. So that's all good, and I can also set my OBS down here. This is the old school right here, old school needles. Probably you guys in flight training now never even seen one of these old school OBS. 250 is what I'm tracking. So we're going to set 250 at the top, which is right there. 250 to the station. Now we're completely set up. Nope, LES. This is the LES Saab 340. Let's do a flyby shot. Dimitri, have you played with the sounds from? Everyone was saying they have who FT Sim. Have you played with those sounds? I'd be curious if you have those sounds or not. Mr. Martin, you have to go back to work. Take it easy, man. Prop governors are cool as heck. Just love the mechanical, and that works so well most of the time. It is. The whole prop governor design, it really blows your mind when you think about how they designed it and just how it works and all the inner linkages between all the different prop governors. It's really cool stuff. I don't know how you can't appreciate turboprops. So here we go, 250, and then we're going to track outbound. Now, turbojets expect base at 8,000. It's a good idea for us in the props. We're going to probably cross base around 8,000 as well. Now, this airplane, I will say, if you're late on your descent, yes, it's a turboprop, and yes, you can slow it down. But for some reason, and I have to verify this with someone who flew the Saab, if you're high and fast, it is not as easy as some of the traditional turboprops that I've flown that have the free turbo, like the PT6. It's not as easy to slow it down as quickly as a traditional turboprops that I'm used to. Now, I don't know how the Q400 works. I can't wait to fly that airplane. But I have had a couple times where I've just been caught daydreaming here in the Saab, and I start my descent and I'm super high. I'm like, oh, no worries, I'm a turboprop, I can get down. But I can't get down and slow down if I'm descending, 2,000 feet a minute. So you do want to make sure you plan your descents accordingly. After that, let's go ahead and see what the weather is doing in LaGuardia. Let's refresh that. No weather information. Oh, yeah, I got active sky running. Nope, no cloud out on. All I'm running is active sky with default clouds, man. Active sky with default clouds. So let me pull up a flight plan here. We went from Boston to LaGuardia. Got to get the LaGuardia weather. Right now, active sky is calculating LaGuardia to be 060 at 13 with 3037 in the altimeter. So 060. So LaGuardia is probably... Q400 is coming out from FlyJSim, man. They wouldn't be landing 4, would they? Should we just completely do a downwind, fly over the city, and land runway 4? We got no ATC online, so it might be alright. I'm thinking we could just go right over the top and do a left downwind for runway 4. What approaches they have to 4 here? Let's go approach ILS to 4, RNAV 4, copter, VOR runway 4. Oh, this is basically coming straight in from the south, so we don't want to do that one. I guess we'll set up with the backup, the ILS to 4. And then I'm thinking, since there's no ATC online, let's just go right down. Let's just go right over Manhattan, shall we? We're going to fly a left downwind over Manhattan, enter for runway 4. I think that sounds like a good plan to me. Alright, let's do a double check here. We are about 42 minutes, or 41 miles from Pawling, going right over Hartford, Connecticut right now. How's our fuel? We got plenty of gas on this bad boy because we have enough gas to actually go back to Boston. Tanker and fuel today. Dimitri says I usually target initial descent speed of 220 to 230, then 200 knots for the downwind and base leg. Okay, so you're even a little bit more sporty than me. I'm kind of I come down to 180 for that downwind. Downwind to base, I dial it back. Did you fly this route at one time in your career? Chase, absolutely, man. Probably over 100 times, my friend. I used to fly all up and down. So I was based in Philadelphia, and all we did was up and down the east. Now, there were some trips. Now, other trips you'd go, to Houston, or you'd go way out up into Canada, just depended on what trip you were on. But there were trips that we just call them shuttle trips, and all you did is up and down the East Coast, and a typical day would be 5 legs, so you'd maybe start out in Boston, Philly, Boston, LaGuardia, Philly, or something like that. I mean, it would just be up and down. Or the DC Boston shuttle, so DC Boston, DC, and then maybe go to Hartford, Connecticut, and overnight. So they definitely had a bunch of shuttle routes. I don't know what the current route structure is like now on the East Coast, but back when I was flying it in the regionals, that you were very, very familiar with all of this flying. Let's do a flyover and check the windsock. I'm down for it, Slam. Sounds good to me. Andre says, I wish I had the patience to learn this VOR flying. Andre Henry, do you have the FlyJSim 737? So what most people don't like about, well, what I've gathered is when you want to learn VOR to VOR flying, people immediately associate that with flying really slow, 172, maybe just props, single engine props. I did a tutorial in the FlyJSim 737-200 on VOR to VOR navigation. So if you still want to fly fast and still cover a lot of ground, flying a jet, totally capable. That's how jets used to navigate back in the day. And I did a tutorial on the 737-200 on VOR navigation. So check that out if you want. It may seem overwhelming at first, but once you understand the basic fundamentals of a VOR, what a radial is, and what it looks like when you're tracking it on an HSI, for simulation purposes, that's pretty much all you need. It's very easy. Now, it can get very complex where you have to join an arc, and how you track an arc, how do you turn onto the arc from the inside or from the outside, radial DME holding, cross radial holding. That can all get definitely a little bit more complex. But just your traditional A to B navigation with the VOR, check out that FlyJSim video I did. It's a little bit old now, a little bit cringe, but what I'll do is, after this flight, if you guys want, what I'm going to do is I'll actually pull up a sky vector chart. I'll try to get it on the screen for you, and then we'll just plan our own flight live VOR navigation. But I think I'll reset the airplane in Philly. That way it's a little bit shorter flight. We don't have to fly another 180 miles or whatever it is. Captain Tom says, "A really slow 172. Don't you dare insult my lawnmower. Engine-powered box that occasionally breaks down." Hey, I learned on a 152 initially, man. So I'm not throwing shade, my friend. But I mean, come on, it is pretty slow. This is all Fork Boy ortho, Dimitri. This is Fork Boy. I know there's a lot of talk about V-States. I didn't even know V-States existed until I already did all the work for most of the Fork Boy stuff. So then I just continued with the Fork Boy downloads. But I've heard a lot of good things about V-States. So unfortunately, I can't speak to V-States because I don't have any experience with it. But this is all Fork Boy. Stuart says, "Flying the older planes VOR without auto throttle is so much more rewarding." Absolutely. There is a different satisfaction. Let me tell you, there is a huge difference in satisfaction when you complete a flight, even if it's a short flight, say 160 miles, 180 miles in a turboprop versus, an Airbus, or maybe not even a turboprop, but just in a light airplane that is VOR navigation. It is such a different level of satisfaction that if you haven't done it yet, just give it a try. We'll back away from this COVID on the window here a little bit. We got some COVID on the window right there. Some COVID. Dimitri says, "Yes, that DME hold using the needles is a special and frustrating." Yes. Yeah, I remember one time I was flying at Beach 99. I was going into, one airport in Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma. They're south of Oak City. I can't remember which airport it was now. I think it was Clinton. But I was flying at night in the ice. Visibility was very low, rain, and the only approach to the airport was a VOR. Oh no, the only approach was an NDB circle to land. So it was an NDB that you tracked, and then you went in off that NDB bearing, and then you did a circling approach from there because it came in almost at a 90 degrees to the runway. So you had to circle no matter what if you shot this approach. But the controller gave me, a cross radial. So he said, at this waypoint, which I could only identify by a cross radial, it was on my chart. I want you to fly, so I want you to fly to this waypoint, and then I want you to arc to the south until picking up the whatever it was, NDB, then you're cleared inbound for the NDB approach. So basically, he wanted me to fly an arc to an NDB to a circling approach. It was one I remember, and I will never forget this. I'm sitting in the cockpit now. It's Beach 99 with the engines out here out your window, a little bit more forward, and I remember twisting and turning all my needles. So I had my VOR set up. I had my NDB set up. I was tuning it, make sure it was ready to go. And I remember I was joining the arc. So I was taught twist 10, turn 10, and I kind of speak into the pilot. They're familiar with that. Maybe like Captain Tom, you're probably familiar with twist 10, turn 10. And I distinctively remember turning the needle, joining the arc, and I looked out the window. And I just see ice building on my leading edge, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? I remember having that exact thought as I'm joining the arc at night in the ice to an NDB circling approach. So I'll never forget that night. And it wasn't too long after that I ended up applying to the regionals and getting out of there. But Captain Canada, what's going on, man? He says, "Hey, V1 in chat, hope everyone is well. I've had this bird in my hangar for well over a year, and I'm still too scared to fly her. Going to have to follow your steps to get her airborne." Hey, man, I had a couple practice runs. The one thing that always gets me when I go to start this freaking airplane, man, is you have to move these condition levers first to the start position. So on every other turboprop that I've flown, even in real life, you always start it first, and then you introduce fuel. I remember the first time I got in this, the first 10 minutes, I'm trying to turn the starter on and nothing's happening. And you got to move these things to the start position first. But yeah, I'm by no means an expert. I'm just trying to get through it. So far, we're doing okay. We're about to get a little hairy as we start our descent. But thanks for joining in, Captain Canada. Glad to see you here, bud. Dimitri says, "I did Fork Boys. I find Fork Boy cleaner and more color uniform, but I like V-State's ability to install state by state." See, yeah, I probably would have too. I just didn't know. I watched a video from Q8 pilot on the fork buoy install. So once I did that, you know, I just went down the rabbit hole with all fork buoy, and I never even considered looking elsewhere, but I'm happy with them. Key 6, yeah, twist 10, turn 10, you heard about that? Yeah. Yeah. It was just a surreal moment where I twisted 10, so I was complete IMC, and when you twist 10, your needle displaces out. So theoretically, if you lose track of where you are mentally, you don't really have anything to show you where you are, because you have full displacement here on your needle because you just twisted the OBS course out. You're in heading mode. I've got my ADB set up, which is still multiple bearings away. So I literally am not tracking anything. I'm just in heading mode, and I'm turning around, and I'm looking out my window, and I just see all the ice. I'm just like, what am I doing, man? I need to get out of here. All right, there's the turn. So I know it says turbojets only at 8,000. Where were we on that harp? But it'll be a good, so here we go. So you could see now, we should be joining the 250 outbound. So we had the to from flip. See my CDI course is now coming over. And now you can see we're outbound from needle. We are slightly right of course. The airplane's gonna correct for wind. So the GPS is much more accurate than the traditional needles here. You also get that slant range air. But there we go. Everything looks to be good there. So we're on the 250. Now we can set the backup for 17.6. So let's go ahead and run over here to the FO side. And I'm going to set 17.6 in the active. And now his course, after we cross Kingston, we want to go outbound on the 203. So I'm going to set 203 here on the course. So now essentially we're flying, and you can see here with my heading bug, if I sync my heading bug, we're flying outbound on the 250 until we join this course, the 203 outbound. This is our course line. This is our aircraft we're flying to the course. So things are looking good there. I'm going to leave 14.3 active there. Now let's talk about a descent. So to give myself an idea, we're going to cross base at 8,000. We're at 16,000 feet, so that's 8,000 feet to lose. Multiply it by 3, 24 miles. We should start down. So now where the heck is 24 miles? Well, let's add up our DME here. So from Kingston to Valerie, it's 14 plus 6, that's 20. So we need an additional 4 miles. So 4 miles from Kingston, which is right about now, we're at 5 miles. We should start down. So let's go ahead and set 8,000 feet. And I'm going to do an IAS descent. Let me set my speed. Actually, no, I'm going to set vertical speed. Stand by. I'm going to sync. So we're going to go vertical speed. Now what am I doing? Why am I in altitude hold mode? Why can't I get out of altitude hold mode? So here we go, we're screwing up again. So we're in the turn, that's good. Maybe it wants IIS hold? Why are we locked into altitude hold mode? Alright, well, let's not sit around and waste time. Let's go ahead and just disengage the autopilot here real quick. Autopilot disconnected. Whoa, player. Apparently we're stuck in altitude hold mode. That's not good. Let me reset the flight directors. Is it something with the altitude selector? Did we never capture? There we go. Now we're in IAS hold. Alright. Something I don't think we ever captured. Autopilot back one on. We're in nav. IAS. I'm going to increase that. So we're going to do an indicated airspeed descent. 212 knots. Down we go. So I think what happened there is this was in altitude select mode. It may be an altimeter issue because the current altimeter in LaGuardia, which we should probably set, is 3037. So my guess is that the autopilot altimeter Bueller. Okay, wrong button there. 3037. Well, that's not... I don't know what happened there. I don't know why we're locked in. Did not want to disengage from altitude hold mode. Anyway, we've got it. We do need to increase our rate of descent. So, I'm going to just go ahead and increase the IIS. We're going to go ahead and set 220. Oh, shoot. I had 14.8. There we go. Set 8,000. And you know what? At this point, we need to just do a vertical speed because we're getting way behind on our descent. I know it's for turbojets only, but most turbojets, if you get a vertical speed about 1,800 feet per minute, is good to go. That's coming down. Let's go back up top here. Seatbelts back on. And let's run a checklist as we start our descent. All right, briefing complete. We know we're going to fly totally illegally over downtown Manhattan. Then we're going to set up for a left base for runway 4. Ice protection is not required. Cabin pressure is set. Looks like the cabin is coming down. Max differential pressure 4.3. I believe this airplane is around 7.5, so we're not popping like a soda can. That's good. Flight instruments and radios are set. Bugs and CTOT should be set. So we'll skip the bugs, arm the CTOT, drop it back to about 100. Should be good to go here. Sync up that heading bug again. And now we are direct to base, which initially wanted at 8,000. Oh boy, vertical speed. Watch yourself. Okay. Shallow out that descent. Watch the speed there. Man, we are right on the limit. Let's shallow it out. Definitely almost oversped the airplane. We're okay, we caught it. Alright, so now I'm going to go IIS hold. That's why I like to do an indicated airspeed hold, because you control your descent rate with the thrust levers. Alright, we're looking good. Let's do a flyby. Definitely almost oversped, roller coaster, all the above. That's a pretty shot, though. Demetrius says, I find having more control using vertical speed and torque manipulation on descent. See, I was never a vertical speed fan in the turboprops. Now, the first jets I flew, vertical speed was how I was taught to fly them. The reason I like the IAS hold in this airplane specifically is because it does have a tendency to get away from you, and if I have my hand on the throttles, I know I'm constantly maintaining my descent rate. So if I just set 1,800 vertical speed and I don't adjust my thrust levers because maybe I'm setting up a checklist or the VOR frequencies, now I know I'm going to start overspeeding the airplane. It won't respect the speed as opposed to when I'm using my thrust levers here. Plus 234, a lot of times, a real world scenario, they're going to give you a speed restriction. So probably coming in here, realistically, I'd probably have the 230, maintain 230 or best forward speed. That way I can maintain it with the thrust levers better. But it's, it's all personal preference. I know some guys that are die-hard vertical speed. I know some guys that want to fly the Airbus in vertical speed still. Like, you can't be doing that, man. All right, here we go. Our lights are coming on, our seatbelts are back on. Auto course, and we do that towards the end, right? Why did we go vertical speed 0? Oh, because we're leveled off at 8,000. See, look at that, beautiful. Almost right on time, too. Let's go ahead and continue to drop down and enjoy some beautiful scenery. Let's take it all the way down to 5,000 feet. IIS hold 220 is fine with me. I'm going to bump up the throttles so we shallow out that descent rate, though. So see, as I increase power... Whoa, watch the torque there. Definitely roller coastered it a little bit. Good thing we don't have a big VNAV arrival trying to meet altitude constraints. But we definitely violated everything. Alright, 1,000 feet per minute, sitting about 44% torque. That's perfect for a 220 knot descent rate. I like it. Here we go. Gustavo says in the Airbus, if you set open climb and want to set thrust to idle, the bus will die for speed. Yes, that's true. That's why you turn flight directors off on a TCAS RA. Because let's say you're in altitude hold mode and your TCAS RA says descend. Well, you're going to pitch the nose down. The flight directors are going to try to go altitude hold, and as you descend below the flight directors, the thrust is going to spool up because it's trying to maintain altitude, and now you're going to start overspeeding the airplane. So that's not exactly what you're saying, Gustavo, but that's kind of the same method of thinking that you're talking about there. Dimitri says, I find IIS a bit lazy. I like to put the work in if you know. Well, Dimitri, I like to set I think it's more work because I'm setting my vertical speed with the thrust as opposed to just setting a vertical speed number. So could reverse that on you, my friend. Vertical speed is great when you need to make a restriction. Let's say you're on a descent or even a climb. You're climbing out and the ATC comes on and says, hey, I need you at below 7,000 in 3 minutes or less. Well, if you set 1,000 feet per minute, say you're at 4,000 feet and you got 3 minutes to go, that's a great way to use vertical speed. It's all personal preference. There's no right or wrong. Definitely no right or wrong. All right, here's Harp inbound to LaGuardia. So I'm going to just go ahead and ditch this page since there's no ATC. We don't have to worry about it. For the approach, though, if we were doing a true visual, pattern altitude at LaGuardia, touchdown zone's 21 feet, probably be about 1,500. So we're going to go ahead and continue our descent. Send down to 2,500. IIS hold, bump it back up 220. Swing that heading bug around. I agree, Dimitri. These engines are freaking sweet looking. I'll have to adjust that view a little bit. I like the vents. Flyby shot here. Dimitri, I think I asked you and I saw your comment, but maybe I didn't read it. What did you say about the FT sim pack? Is it worth it over the default? I think there's room for improvement on this airplane, but as far as sounds goes. I just think that's a cool looking airplane. All right, so let's go ahead and review some approach items here. Again, staying ahead of the airplane. So for the approach checklist, altimeters, cross-checked, external lights, cabin signs, so basically everything is set. So let's go through it here. Altimeters are cross-checked, 3037. External lights are all on, that is checked. Cabin signs are on. HP valve is in auto. Perfect. That is good. All right, and then our landing checklist, we got to do auto coursing, prop sync off, and condition levers max. Essentially what we're working on. I can see the beacon for LaGuardia. Yep, Scott, there's going to be a second leg. I haven't decided. I think we're going to reload in Philly, and then we're going to set up a VOR flight, short flight down to DC, And it'd be kind of fun to do the river visual in this airplane, I think. All right, there's 2,500. I'm gonna keep my speed up. Oh, you know what? That's that seat tow going off. Is that armed? Yeah, I'm gonna turn that off. I don't need that right now. A continuous takeoff thrust kept jacking with me. I'm trying to fly fast right now. Engine-wise, both sound packs are good. I think FTSIM is lacking in basically every cockpit in it. Oh, that's no good. Shaq Oatmeal, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream, dude. Just in time as we start our weird load-in of LaGuardia downtown. I can see a couple buildings out there. Frames as we load in here. 0321, you have inspired me to take this bird to the virtual skies again. Haven't flown it for so long. Awesome, man. You should. It's a great bird, man. I think it's one of those birds. Yeah, we just got disconnected from that lag spike. Let's see if we can stay connected again. All right, here we go. We're going to do this totally illegal, right? So we're going to go heading, select. And now, since we're on the heading over here, we're going to go down the river. I'm going to go ahead and set up the approach that we're going to back it up with. So we're going to back it up with the ILS 110.5. So we're going to set 110.5 in the primary. Arm that. We'll also put that in the secondary over here. Just as a reference. Let's descend down to 2,000 feet. IAS hold. And now I'm going to switch my selector to Loc 1. And now we have to set the final approach course, which is 044. I'm going to spin this all the way around. No Orbix in New York. This is all Fork Boy. Spin this course all the way around. All right, 044 is set. Let's go ahead and come to the right over here with our heading. We're going to fly down the river. There's LaGuardia off our left. We're also going to set 1,500 feet. Look at that shot. That's pretty cool. Let's stretch it out. Let's come over here, right over the river. So this is actually an apartment complex. You can see this building from the ramp at LaGuardia. Empire State Building, Freedom Tower. Beautiful. My sister lives right over here in Brooklyn. All right, 1,500 feet. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring those prop levers back. Let's start slowing down. We're over the river now. We're going to make a left turn. Track outbound, flyby. Oh, look at that. Empire State Building. We should have been coming in here at night. Talk about eating up my GPU. All right, I'm going to come back to 180. And I can see my glide slope is above me. That's good. Wow, look at this, though. How cool is that? Brooklyn Bridge, Freedom Tower. There's a great pizza place on the water over here somewhere. You don't see that every day. Saab 340 right over the bridge. I think we're going to be in the Hudson. My sister literally lives, I think, in this building right here. I literally think that's her building. Yeah, great pizza joint down here on the water somewhere. All right, 140 knots. Here we go. Let's turn it inbound. We're going to come all the way back around 100-ish. Let's go flap 7. Yeah, so we're coming outside of that. Final approach fix is 1700. We're already below that. Beautiful. In fact, we can go ahead and just arm the approach now. Glide slope is armed. Loc is armed. I can tell they are armed by the white indication here. I'm a little concerned that my CDI... There we go. They're deflected all the way to the proper side now. All right, as we make the turn around here, I'll try to get some more views. Oh, look at that shot. That is sick. I mean, that is really sweet looking. So you don't get to enjoy this when you're flying a jets in here. You know, you're doing 180 knots, 200 knots. Don't get time to enjoy the scenery. All right, we're on a heading of 100 to join. Looks like we've got a little bit of a crosswind. Joining outside of Ding. Here comes the localizer. Localizer alive. If you want good pizza, drive to Connecticut. I keep that in mind, John. I'm going to sync that heading bug up. Always important to sync your heading bug up, especially on an approach. That way, if you have to make changes manually, keep them what's inside the heading bug. That way you don't start chasing the localizer. Definitely straight juice, Christian. I agree. We've got a minute before we intercept the... look at that. I don't know what view is better. Probably back here, right? That is so cool. I could smell the Dunkin' Donuts coffee already there in LaGuardia. That is too cool. All right, as we set our final approach here, we need to go auto course into arm, bringing the thrust levers back, C-toes coming on, and let's run a checklist. Altimeters, we did all that. We did that one. Auto course is on. Landing signal given gear is coming down now. Hydraulics are checked. Prop sync off. Condition levers max. Flaps, de-ice boots is all set, none required. That's the altitude. Go around altitude will be set 2000 blue. And I'm going to manually fly, so autopilot's coming off. About 120 knots seems to be just about right. Flaps 30, 1,000 feet stable, clear to land. I love hearing the props starting to rumble there in the background. Let me turn that up a little bit. I know you guys turned your way down earlier. All right, 2 whites, 2 reds, 110 knots. Trim it up a little bit there. A little bit low on the slope, correcting. There we go, now we're back on it. Nice crosswind. 13 knots off the northeast there. Alright, we're going to follow the Pappies in now, so it's non-coincident glide path. That should slip away from us here as we dip below. Here we go. Verse beta, or I guess it's beta green. Whoa, brakes are super sensitive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LaGuardia. 142 on that touchdown. A little bit left to center line. 48 feet above the threshold, so 2 feet low from ideal. Let me pull up my torque master here as we taxi around. Let's clear the runway. Probably should have made some radio calls. Alright, let's clean it up. Flaps are coming up. Landing lights are coming off. Leave the taxi light on. Kill the strobes. We're going to go all the way to where the turboprops used to be, or at least the RJs are, all the way down there on the south side, or east side. Oh, that's pretty cool with New York in the background. Alright, let's do an after lands here. After landing checklist. Gust lock, well, we don't want to put that in just yet. Ice protector set, auto coursing off. External lights are set. HP valves closed. Differential pressure. Check, that looks good. Flaps are up, radar transponder standby. We'll do it. Radio schmadio. Alright, where are we going? 10-9. You know, we should have, I think we should have parked at the MAT, the Marine Air Terminal. I'm thinking we'll just go to Terminal C where I used to park the Embraers. Spot 9 Alpha, Lima 9 Alpha contact ramp. Umberto360 coming in with a $5 donation. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Says great flight captain. Hey, man, I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much for that support. Glad to see you around here, Berto. We're going to try to reposition, do one quick hop from Philly to DC using all raw data. Now, I think there was a gate here. I'm trying to remember which one where you'd actually have to go up the elevator. We always hated parking there. Let's go to this one over here. Ah, screw it. We're right here. I'm pretty sure the elevator's over here. We'll just go straight in here. Spot 7. So, they normally always kill which one? Number 1. Trying to do it like they do at Silver. I don't know why it's not marshalling me. He's like, what are you doing here? This is not turboprop gates. That's aggressive. Brakes are set. And of course, we'd hook up the ground power, wait for him to hook up the ground power, then switch the generators over. But we're going to reload it anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LaGuardia. Man, that was pretty fun. All right, let's go ahead and take a replay real quick here. I want to see that landing. Oh, no sounds in replay mode? Are you kidding? Oh, man, come on. Not bad. That's why I wish we had replay sounds. Come on. That's cool. Look at that shot, though, with the lights lined up. That is pretty juicy, not gonna lie, guys. That is... I like seeing that. Held it, held it. Got a little wonky there when the nose came down. Let's enjoy the approach view from right here. Is there one more view to the right? Let's see if we can see the prop change. I'm curious if that's in replay mode. If we see it change pitch. Maybe not in replay mode. I'm pretty sure I've seen it change pitch live. That's not bad, though. All right, one more from outside. That livery is just awesome, though, huh? Yeah, definitely a little bit left there. Good deal. You flew in the Beech 1900? I love that bird too, man. Good airplane. Could have flared a bit more? Maybe. Alright guys, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to throw up the Be Right Back screen. I'm going to reload the airplane in Philly. We're going to do a quick hop. It should only be a couple, like maybe less than 150 miles to DC from Philly. I'm going to load that up one real quick. So I'm totally bummed we don't have sounds in the replay mode though. Alright, so I'll be right back, guys. I'll see you on the flip side. All right, what is that? We are back here. Let me go ahead and file a sim brief. I'm really curious if I can do a sim brief with the VORs here. Let me log in real quick. We're going to be super quick when we fire it up because we already did it once, so we already have the procedure ready to roll. If not, I'll do a screen share with my internet so you can see SkyVector. So Philly to DCA. I'm going to update the fly live, so let's change that up there. Dispatch, new flight. Dimitri, I should have checked that out before I did that. With maybe Gizmo sounds would have worked. I'll have to try that one out next time on this one in here into DC. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. SF-34. All right, Clipper 2. I don't want that. Can I use... Here's Victor Airways. Oh gosh, that looks awful. Okay, let's do that. I like this route. Let's generate a flight plan. I don't think there's any ATC to worry about. Dougal, while we're here setting up the airplane, yes, thank you for reminding me, Dougal. Guys, tomorrow is going to be our big giveaway stream from SimWings. You guys probably seen the post in the Discord. So $500 worth of giveaways coming back to the community, courtesy all of SimWings. So don't miss that one. We're going to be the 727 too, which is one of my favorites. So you guys are gonna want to see that stream. All right, Phil DCA. I saved that to the PDF. That is good. Let me file it on VATSIM just for semantics and pre-file that. Yada yada. What's the cruise out to? They got us going at 12,000. Perfect. Filed. Done. So we can close that. Let me hop in here. Let's get the airplane powered up real quick. So I'm going to go through this real quick here and get everything going. So batteries are coming on. 1, 2. Let's cancel the cautions. Let's go ahead and get a GPU hooked up here. We're going to go a GPU on. Remove all those except nose gear chocks. Set. All right. Come back over here. External power on. Then we're going to go essential. And on a left, a right. Get some sounds back in here. Let's service the airplane. Let's go ahead and get them up here. They're servicing the airplane. Nav light can come on. No smoking can come on. Emergency lights can be armed. Let's come down here. Let's fire this back up. So this is what we call a plane swap at Regional Pilot Life, and everyone hates doing plane swaps, especially when you're doing short legs like this. When you have 5 legs, even 4 legs in one day, and if you have to do a plane swap, it just makes your life so much harder, and it's so annoying because you have to move your bags everywhere, and especially back in the day before we had EFBs, so everything you had to carry your 70-pound flight kit, just was a pain in the butt. So we're kind of simulating that right here. Get in, everything set up, booting that up. All right, let me reset the AviTab plugin. So we'll have our new flight plan. Charts, Philly to DC. Is this the new one? Rand Cool. Coming in with a $20 Jack Daniels resupply. Rand, you the man, my friend. Thank you so much, dude. Tomorrow, it's all about the Jack Daniels tomorrow, my friend. We're going to be on it. Fortunately, I can't be drinking anything today. I'm trying to pick up something, so I can't be indulging in the Jack Daniels today. But tomorrow, Rand, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. All right, here we go. Here is our flight plan. I believe this is the correct one. Yeah, DuPont Victor 166 to Belay. Okay, so does this have a course on there? What about our map? Or else we're going to be screwed. Let's go VFR, IFR low en route. Victor 66. Oh, that's 166. Was it 166? Yeah, okay, perfect. So we can actually use this, but it doesn't tell you the course line on the airway. Man, what's the best way to do that? Probably SkyVector, huh? Hold on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not even. You know what? We're gonna go hardcore. We're gonna turn off the GPS. Let's just pretend. Well, we need our radios. So we're just gonna leave it like that. We're gonna leave the GPS set. I want to set this up so it's not, so you guys could see. Hold on, give me a second here. What about Avitab? Doesn't that have charts? Like, can't I bring, why can't you bring up the, that's what I wish you could bring up the charts. Like low and root charts. Alright, screw it. Let's go Sky Vector. Philly to DCA. Got that loaded up. And what we need to do is also set this up here. Well, I know you can't see what I'm setting up, but I have to set up DQO. Alright, there we go. That's literally one airway, so perfect. Alright, that's set up here. Let's get our current ATIS. Details 3034. We'll set up 1 and 2. What is my route of flight? Alright. Miss Jungle said, wish the airport would call you. No such luck, though? Yeah. You slept the whole first leg, Alexandra. No worries, man. No worries. We got a second one here. I'm trying to set up a VFR chart. World VFR. That's close enough. IFR low. Victor 166. Okay, so there we go. We've got that set. Course 271. Off of DuPont, which is 14-0. So let's set up some of our rad navios? Nav radios. 14-0 for DuPont. Set there. Let's go ahead and set 14-0 for DuPont here as well. And we have to do our course selection. View R1. Verify it is 14-0. DQO 114.0, 114.0. We don't need the barrow. We're going to depart off 27, so we're going to set our heading about 270 runway heading. We'll set up our course once we get airborne, because we're going to have to get airborne to pick up the signal. Robert S., tomorrow is your wife's birthday. Well, happy birthday to your wife. No chance to join on the stream. I'm sorry to hear that, man. It's going to be an exciting one. I can't wait for tomorrow, really. Alright, we got them up set. Let's do our before start checklist. Batteries on, external power check, bleed valves. Here we go. Reset auto, check. Avionics are set. Oxygen on, checked. Circuit breakers, checked. Flight recorder is checked. We are continuation of Colgan 357. Check. Parking brake is set. Cabin signs, they're coming on. Engine instruments, auto, boot is on, check. Fuel quantity, perfect, check. Hydraulics, checked. Cabin pressure, landing just about sea level. That's rate. Let's do landing field elevation. Oh, what's our barrel? 303. 30, about there. Landing field elevation right about there, check. Ground idle cutoff, trims are set. Takeoff data and bugs, that's good enough. Let's go ahead and get a beacon on. And doors status is all closed, so that is good. Let's go ahead and push back these guys. Get them out of here. Let's call up our tug.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
We're going to go straight back
Great
off
news,
the E-gates.
Captain. Your tow's coming.
So the amount of times that I had to lug my flight back over here to these E-gates in Philly, don't even want to know. Captain Geo, what's up, man? Just stopping by with the light. Gotta head to work. Captain Geo, thank you for stopping by, man. Have a safe day at work, my friend. Hope you have a good day out there. I'm missing that 3080, man. We just did a LaGuardia flight. I was missing that 3080. I'm jealous. Alright, tug is driving up. Let's go ahead and get rid of the ground handling. We'll hide them. And just like before, we're going to start engine 2 first. So we're going to set that to the start position. And let's get our torque levers to...
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Ground idle is set. Engine 1 is in the start position. He's ready to connect. So we're going to go ahead and kill the left avionics, the right avionics. We are at external power. Let's go
We
ahead.
got that winching strap and adapter hooked up. Go ahead and let go of the parking brake when you're ready for a push.
Roger that, we will. Let's go ahead and start up engine 2 first. Press and hold. Here she goes. Al W says, I totally forgot. Turned 65 last week. Now I'm officially an old DFW fart. Al W, no worries, man. Well, happy belated birthday, my friend. Glad you're here. Nice weather, man. I'm enjoying this rain, cooling off the temps a little bit. So that prop's going to come into the feathered position. We'll run the generator up number 2. Sounds like the starter just kicked off. Wait for 60% NG. Delta livery is pretty sweet. Yeah, I like the Delta connection on this one as well. There's about 60% NG is set. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go reset and on. There it is. Kill the power. External power is off. We have got DC power confirmed from generator 2. Let's go ahead and pull the GPU. And you guys are good to push. So we're going to pull us up, winching strap. Berto, I'm right there with you, man. Juicy sounds. I love this sound right here. Just listening to that prop in full feathered mode. Oh, hold on. Let me back this off. Forgot we got to open the windows again. Just listening to that prop in full feathered mode.
Here comes the pushback.
Go ahead and open up all these windows again. I hate how... I wish I could... There's probably a way to set this so they're all open. Instead of manually coming in here. But I guess it gives you something else to do. What the heck? I like this right here. Push it back with just a stationary rotor. Gio says that 380 been dropping some serious butter. That and FO2 turned 1 yesterday. Gio, that's awesome, man. Well, happy birthday to your second FO, or your flight engineer. Good stuff, man. All right, let's go ahead and start engine number 1 while we're in the push here. Use caution. We're spinning up number 1. Starter's going to kick off. There it is. ITT rollback. NG's on the rise. Greg coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you, my friend. He says, open your eyes and ears. V1 school is in session. We're going to try to do some schooling here on this VOR navigation. and then somehow we're going to try to find our way to do a river visual. Thank you for your support, drum covers. I appreciate it, man. How far are we pushing back here, guy? That's plenty far.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
All right, brake set. Go ahead, disconnect.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
All right, generator 1, reset and on. There it is. Left avionics, right avionics. Let's come up here. Pitot heats are on. Windows, norm, on, normal. No prop, no engine anti-ice is required. Check. Let's go ahead and run through. Actually, I saw something that needs to be at auto. HP valves, auto. Check.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Alright, thanks for the smooth push. We'll see you next time, bud. Alright, let's run through our checklist here. After engine start, auto coursing, on. Bus tie, checked. External power, off. Generators, checked. Air conditioning is set 22C, perfect. Emergency lights, armed. Fuel used, reset 0, check. Condition levers. Here we go, let's unfeather these bad boys. Oh, I have to move them from the cockpit, dang it. Let's get them out of that detent. There you go, see the blade change? That's awesome. Overhead check, EFIS check. Let's see if we watch this. Cycle the props here. Still pretty cool. We saw him come out of feather. I like that. Dimitri, I don't know who's doing the pushback today, my friend. Somebody needs some work. All right, trim is coming up a little bit. You know what I hate? There's one thing I've noticed about my honeycomb. It's one of my trim buttons is starting to not work, and I readjust the little cable. Like if I just press in on that cable, then it seems to work just fine. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. All right, let's get our torque up, nose wheel steering on, brakes released, light is coming on. Oh, Philly ground and tower is on. Oh boy, disregard. Disregard, everybody stand by. Taxi light off. That was the strobe light anyway. Philly ground and tower just checked in. This might throw a wrench in our plans. Philly ATIS has got information. Charlie 3013 is the most recent meter. 3013 is set. That can't be right. We'll set 3013 though. Information. Charlie is current 9 right for departure, converging, blah blah blah. Got our flight plan files. We got to pick up our clearance. And Philly Tower is going to be on 18.5. Oh boy. Make sure our audio volumes are over here. They should be set. They are. Volume is good. All right. Well, this will be interesting. No, actually, you know, we just call it ground for. Let's call it ground for our clearance, which will be 21.9. 21.9. Philly ground. Good morning, Golden 357. Information, Charlie, going to DC, like to get our clearance. I don't have anything to write down. Uh-oh. Don't have a pen.
57 Philly ground, good afternoon, standby clearance on request number 1.
Roger. Got my notepad out on my phone.
Philly ground, Sirius 5205 X-ray, ready for taxi with Echo.
Sirius 5205 X-ray, squawk 3056.
Well, this is all uncontrolled. I'm going to creep up to spot 12. Actually, you know what?
305605 X-ray.
Let's go ahead and load the box here.
Sirius 5205 X-ray, runway 9 or left, taxi via Delta, and hold short of runway 8.
Taxi Delta, hold short of 805 X-ray.
Load up Philly, accept. So we're waiting on that. I'm going to just load this up here as backup. DQO, DuPont. Accept that. Oh man. I'm going to stop there because
Aircraft on frequency, information Foxtrot is on current, altimeter 3011.
I don't know what he's going to give us. Foxtrot is current now. Info Fox. 9 right, 9 left, 3011, temperature 31. 3011. It's my active sky. Let's see if I can refresh here.
November 5205 X-ray, cross runway 8 at Delta. Continue taxi and make a right on Kilo, hold short of runway 17.
08014 gust 21. Jeez.
Request, and
Chief Sim,
put on kill and
welcome.
hold short of 2705 X-ray.
Alright, I'm going to roll up to the hold spot until he gives us.
Sirius 5205 X-ray, hold short
So
of
there
runway
is a spot
Hold
12
short
up here.
1705 X-ray.
We're going to taxi up to spot 12 as we wait. Philly ground. He's giving me a message here. Stand by.
Sirius 5205 X-ray, cross runway 17 at Kilo.
Can you accept?
Crossing 17 at Kilo, 05 X-ray.
Can we accept the Clipper 2? I don't know. Stand by. I think we can. Let me just look it up real quick for DCA. Clipper 2 is an RNAV. Yeah, we can do it.
November 601 Delta Charlie, runway 17 taxi via Alpha Delta.
Alpha Delta to Charlie, 1 Delta Charlie.
So probably get the Clipper 2. Definitely got some restrictions we're going to have to
5205
deal
X-ray,
with.
make a left on.
So we'll get rid of that. Let's go back to Philly.
Left on whiskey for 19er left, or for 9er left, 05 X-ray, sorry.
Probably going to give us Philly 2 departure. Alright. So now, can I type? Huh. Alright, so he said awesome, thank you. So I'm going to just wait on that. Let's pull up to the spot 12 there.
118.5, thanks for your help, 05 X-ray.
Should have probably just started one engine, huh? Welcome to the Northeast. Brakes are set. Papa Tango.
357, heavy clearance advice, ready to copy.
Hold on, let me get my phone out so I can copy this down. I'm gonna get right to that Papa Tango. Thank you. Google 357, ready to copy.
Logan 357, you're clear to the Washington National Airport. It is in Philadelphia 2 departure. Radar vectors 2 ponds, that's to Delta Quebec Oscar VOR. Victor 166 airway. Direct delay. Bravo Echo Lima Alpha Yankee. Victor 378 airway. Direct Trish. Tango Romeo India Sierra Hotel. Direct Clipper Charlie Lima India Papa Romeo. And the Clipper 2 arrival. Maintain 3000. Expect 10,000 after departure. Departure frequency Unicom 122.8. Squawk 3004.
All right, Colga 357, we're cleared to Washington National, Philly 2, radar vectors, Delta Quebec Oscar, Victor 166, Belay, Victor 378, Trish, Clipper 2, maintain 3000, expect cruise altitude 10 minutes prior, 122.8 on departure, squawk at 3004 for Colga 357.
And Colgan 357, just to confirm, your final altitude is going to be 10,000.
10,000, 10 minutes after departure for Colga 357, thanks.
Colgan 357, read back correct. Pushback and start of at your discretion. Expect runway 9 or left for departure and call ready for taxi.
Roger, we'll call ready for taxi and expect 9 left for departure, Colga 357. All right, so squawking 3004. .3004 is set, and 3,000 on the initial altitude. And the Philly 2, we're going to do it old school here. So Philly 2 departing off runway 9 left, climb on assigned heading. Top altitude 5, but he gave us 3.
November 611 Delta Charlie, contact
We
tower.
are vectors to first fix of DuPont, which is Delta Quebec Oscar 14-0. So runway heading off of 9er left. 087 on the heading. .087 is set. I'm going to come back down here real quick, and I'm also going to load up the arrival here. Hold on. Select arrival. Oh no. Nope. DuPont. I know there's an airway in there, but I'm going to set belay. I don't know why I've got 2. Well, this throws a wrench in our plans, but it's alright. A little bit more realistic this way anyway. And we're still going to do our VOR tracking here on our route, so it'll still work out for us. If I knew the alphabet, it would help. E-E-L-A-Y.
Remove box cover, able to accept an altitude of 7,500. Yes.
Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to throw this in Sky Vector. I know I'm not putting the airways in, but there's no departure online anyway, so US Northeast accept. And then I'm going to put KDCA just so I can load up the arrival. Gonna have to make a PA announcement for taking too long here. Passengers are probably getting rowdy. Clipper 2 for River Visual runway 19 is what I want to do. Off Modena, that's fine. We'll load that. Alright, our box is set. Inside airspace, roger that. 3,000 is set. Alright, I think we're ready to go. We are spot 12 with Fox. Feel the ground, Colga 357, spot 12 with Foxtrot, ready taxi.
Colgan 357, runway 9 left, taxi via Juliet, November, Kilo, Whiskey.
9 left, taxi via Juliet, November, Kilo, Whiskey for Colga 357. Alright, 9 left, Juliet is the inner here. What a Juliet November Kilo, which is closed apparently, but not today. And whiskey. Alright, so we'll go take a look at those exits when we get down there. Taxi light on, brakes released, let's roll.
Station 2, Romeo Foxtrot, Irish Air Departure.
Cito 105 set.
Station 2, Romeo Foxtrot, you are cleared out of Bravo airspace to the northeast. Maintain VFR at 3,000 until further advised. Squawk 0612.
So Juliet, we're going to stay on the ramp all the way around. Aaron Hastings, what's up, man? He says, V1, here's an odd question for you. Why does US ATC proceed airport names with the, or the, i.e. you are cleared to the Washington?
Runway 9 or left for departure.
I think it just depends on who you get. I wouldn't know why they do that or not. It's a good question, though. I wonder if it has something to do with Washington being congested with a bunch of other airports in Washington. So, the Washington Reagan National? I don't know. Of course, I didn't open these windows. Good old Philly, man. This is cool, though. What, is there a hawker sitting over here? Why is there a hawker over at this gate? Look at that. That's interesting. Alright, spot 10 all the way around. Here we go. Orlo Mitch says, I'm glad I could finally catch one live. Been crazy busy last month. Welcome, Orlo. Orlando. I'm just calling you Orlando Mitch. Welcome, dude. I'm pretty sure the altimeters are either that or my active sky is not working. So we're just going to set field elevation 3037. Because I know we're not below sea level here. So Juliet November Kilo Whiskey. Yeah, I kept Tom. So the altimeter on VATSIM is 3011, but that's showing me below sea level. So I'm going to set to 3037 here.
2130 taken.
We're able to do the hyperlure.
There's somebody taking off over there.
Static 2130, I have your clearance advised. Ready to come.
Steve says, have a good flight. Going off to help buddy change the fuel battery in a 172. Awesome. I have long monkey arms, so I think it could help. That's awesome, dude.
Station 2, Romeo Foxtrot.
Have fun digging around those fuel bladders. Yeah, I don't know, Aaron. I don't know if there's an official. That'd be a good question for Phantom.
Static 2135, ready to come.
I like this airport, though, with the three-dimensional 3D grass. Volumetric grass.
Airport via the access limit.
That's pretty cool. You've heard clear to the Charlotte Douglas? Yeah. I don't know if there's a rhyme and reason behind that.
Philadelphia 2 departure. Radar vector is Modena. Hyper 8 arrival. Direct to Washington Dulles Airport.
Alright, here is left turn, clear left.
Expect 2000.
Real life, they're working on this taxiway here, I assume.
Squad 3043.
Check to make sure active sky is not using historical. Roger. Let me get straight here on the taxiway.
Mike, X-ray.
Pull up active sky.
Then
Weather control.
Then direct.
Live weather mode is active.
5,000 on departure, expect to 120.
Refresh. There we go. That might have done it. Yep, that did it. Good catch there, man. I don't know why I guess it was in historical mode. 3011 is set.
Runway 9 or left for departure. Pushback has sort of at your discretion until reprotecting.
We got it. Thank you.
Alright, put that left in for 2030. Station 2, Romeo Foxtrot, you can expect runway 17 for departure.
Alright, let's do a checklist here. Before takeoff, check external lights. Before that one, brakes, altimeters, flaps, 0 set, takeoff perf, CTOF set, briefing complete. So that's what we gotta do next. Shaquille says, tried some old smoky salted caramel whiskey. Wow, that sounds good. If you're going to look for something different, give it a shot. Awesome, $25 pickup. Wow, that was very loud.
Zulu Romeo Echo, Philly Grand, good afternoon. Reading 555.
Old Smoky Salted Caramel Whiskey, huh? Almost sounds like a drink from Starbucks. Salted Caramel Frappuccino.
November 220 Lima, Philly Grand, good afternoon. Departure, please. Take the west car paper. Okay, November 220 Lima, taxi is Zulu, Juliet, correct.
Use a little bit of reverse there.
Hogan, 357, contact tower, 118.5 on the correct flight.
18.5, have a good one, code 1357. 18.5 is up. And departure is 22.8. Set. And we're going down to Whiskey. Philly target afternoon, Colgan 357, hold short 9 or left at Whiskey, ready for departure. There's
Colgan 357, Philadelphia Tower. Fly heading 125, wind 160 at 12, runway 9 left, clear for takeoff.
Heading 125, runway 9 left, clear for takeoff. Colgan 357. Alright, 125 on the heading is set. We're cleared for takeoff. Lights are coming on. Let's do our before takeoff check. Zero light set, takeoff signal given, air conditioning is set, transponder set, flight controls checked, CWP is checked, and inhibit is on. Before takeoff check was complete. Oh, you know what? I made a boo-boo. I made a boo-boo. We taxied past the... We taxied around the wrong side of the runway. I'm on the displaced threshold. You see nothing. You see nothing. You see nothing. I am not on the displaced threshold. You do not see approach lights. You see nothing. You see absolutely nothing.
Philadelphia Tower.
See? Look at that. Runway 9 left. Alright, you guys ready? Let's get out of here. Heading 125 is set.
Foxtrot, Philadelphia Tower, runway 17.
64%.
Traffic crosses down.
Auto course and arm.
Line in between.
Here we go. Yoga. Christian, I know. Here we go. Rotate. Wow, look at that crosswind. Heading 125. Berto, exactly. There's the ships in the river. Love it. There's an approach to that short runway that has a ship's limitation. If there's ships visual, you can't. You have to change the minimum so you don't hit the masts. All right.
Colgan 357, leaving my airspace. Departure is offline. Monitor Unicom. Frequency change approved. Have a good flight.
All right, over to Unicom. Thanks for the ATC. Have a good one, Colgan 357. All right, that was
2 Romeo Foxtrot. Turn left for northeast.
122.8 is set. Let's go ahead and turn direct to DuPont VOR. So I'm going to spin that heading bug all the way around. 2 for 3, but we don't have ATC, so let's go ahead and climb all the way up to 12,000. 12,000 is set. Spin my heading bug all the way around. Need my FO to turn off the auto coursing. We also need to turn off our seat toad. There's 180 knots. Let's go climb nav. 182 climb. Look at old Philly down there. Yeah, so this runway right here, there's a ship's limitation. If you're landing on, I can't remember the name, what's the number on that? 3.5. And there's actually an approach that has 3.5 ships, and the DA is adjusted for the ships going in there. I've actually had to do that approach with ships in the channel. Pretty cool. Good old Philly, man. Philadelphia. Do not miss it at all. Let's fly our heading here. All right, let's go ahead and set heading bug and autopilot 1 on, or autopilot 1, autopilot on. 182 in the climb speed. Had to speed up there. Now she's coming up. Let's do our checklist, and then we got to set up for our VOR turn here. Alright, gear up, flaps, outer covers and off, external lights are on for now, cabin signs set, air conditioning, just verify. Should have had the recircs on. Takeoff inhibit is out, checked, cabin pressure checked, we are climbing. Prop sync can come on. CTOT is off. Beautiful. Alright, so now let's get back at it here. So we have to join Victor 166 after hitting DuPont. And that just so happens to be Victor 166 happens to be course 271. So what I can do here is set 271. And now we're going to join Victor 66 outbound. So that looks good. We don't need Philly anymore. We don't need, well, we can kind of see where we are. So the DuPont, well, what I'm going to do here, let's go direct. So to go direct, we're going to just spin in that needle right now. VOR 1 is active, so now we're tracking directly to the DuPont VOR. It's going to spin around here with the cross, with 20 knot crosswind. I imagine our heading is probably going to be right about 255, 250-ish. Philly, great city to visit, not so much to live in, says Travis. Yeah, I agree with you, bud. OAT is still plenty warm, 20C, so we're good there. Alright, after crossing that, we got to go 266 outbound. Oh, I'm sorry, 271. So I'm going to set my OBS 271 down here. 271, that's close enough. I'm going to set course 2, 271. So that's the course we want to fly after crossing over the VOR. Nothing to see right now in the clouds, unfortunately. We're a true needle flying. Dimitri, Baltimore makes Philly looks like a shiny city on the hill, though. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Almost to DuPont. Man, look at that crosswind though. Not nice to visit. Sam, the Philly airport. Ugh. Oh, there was 2 crashes. So I need to get back to Papa Tango, man. I'm sorry. You donated right there on that takeoff roll. I appreciate it, man. Papa Tango says, hi, V1. You and all your passenger crews survived the crash of 5750. You rushed home to your loving wife and kids. The NTSB didn't list you as probable cause, so NKS didn't fire you. Also, that stream reaction was awesome. Thanks, man. That was he's referring to when we were flying that VA V-Spirit flight from Tampa, or from, where we go, New Orleans to Tampa, or Dallas to Tampa, and then I taxied into the scenery and we all died and caught fire. Well, we didn't die, apparently, but Papa Tango, thanks, man. What a way to end a stream. I appreciate your support on the channel, man. Smooth Ops came in with a dono. He said, $5. Trust me, chat is watching you like a hawk. Yeah, I made a mistake there on that taxi out. That's all right. That would be a boo-boo. Definitely wouldn't be able to do that in real life, but hey. All right, looks like we're getting close to the DuPont VOR. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a smooth transition. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just select heading mode. And now I'm going to dial in my course 271. And now I'm going to just fly the airplane in heading mode here until we go over the top of the VOR, because I want to have a nice smooth transition here. So you'll be able to see 2.6 DME. And 2 miles. It should start to go into our cone of confusion. Aaron said, I visited Philly, really enjoyed it, and will always remember the Eastern State Penitentiary. Amazing place. Interesting. Cannot say I've been there. Alright, so here we go. Starting to get time to go, is starting to spaz out. There's our to from needle flip. So now I'm going to go ahead and start moving that heading bug over. Here comes my CDI. As it gets nice and close to being centered up, we're just going to nav it. Nice smooth transition. So now we're going to be tracking the 271 outbound, which is a Victor 166. And you can see here in map mode, we've joined Victor 166. And actually, we're taking this all the way to Belay. Belay is identified by another VOR, so we're going to have to set that up. Track an outbound 166. Beautiful. Shaquille, you said you graduated from Penn, or from... you graduated from State Penn, not Penn State. Wow. Not using X-Enviro, negative. Uh-oh, BWI approach. 19.7. Uh-oh, that might have to put another... might change our plans here.
I would recommend 1.5 right, but if you want 1.5 left, expect 1.5 left.
There's 10,000. We'll go ahead and kill the lights. We'll go ahead and turn off.
We'll go with 1.5 right.
Smoke them if you got them.
DHL61.
Close enough to 10,000. Baltimore, good afternoon. Colgan 357, 9.5, climbing 12, 12,000.
We're 9-3. Can you say your call sign again?
So Colgan 357.
Colgan 357. Approach, hello, squawk ident.
Ident, Colgan 357.
Colgan 357 radar contact, 8 miles west of the DuPont VOR. Cross Baltimore 6000, Washington's landing south. The Baltimore altimeter is 3004.
I'm sorry, what was the fix you wanted to cross the 6,000 for Colgan 357?
Cross Baltimore VOR, Bravo Alpha Lima 6000.
All right, Baltimore VOR at 6,000, Colgan 357. So, that
Approach, good afternoon.
is on the arrival.
32 with Charlie, I approach Charlotte.
So what we're going to do, 15-1.
You're clear to the Charlotte Douglas Airport, Trip 7 departure, glance transition, and as filed. Climb via the city.
That is standby. He wants Baltimore at 6,000. So we're going to Belay. After Belay, we're tracking inbound. So Baltimore is 15-1. Let's set that up over here. This is going to get a little hairy. All right, 15-1 is set. Now the Baltimore radial that IDs this course is going to be the 225 inbound to Baltimore. So I have to come over here and I'm going to set 225. Or no, I think it may be the other way around. Right? It's going to be... No, it should be 225. So we'll go ahead and set course 225 inbound. So when we hit 225, that means we're at Belay. Well, Belay, technically we can ID from Odina, 13.2 DME add these up. So 166 to Belay, and then a left turn, 225. Outbound, yes. Alright. So we're looking good. 1,000 feet to go to level off. Would you rather fly in and out of Philly or one of the 3 New York airports? That's the real question. Ooh. That's a tough one. How's the weather, Sam? If the weather is good, you know, I'll take LaGuardia. At least there's a nice Dunkin' there in the terminal. Nice food court. Newark, I just want to avoid. And JFK is just too big. But if the weather's crap, being in Philly sucks because all the priority goes to the 3 in New York. They go to Newark, Kennedy, and LaGuardia. So if the weather goes down, Philly gets shafted. Alright, so DuPont, Belay, 225 after Belay. We're leveling off at 12,000. That is good. Temps are good. Props, let's bring it back 1350. That's going to increase the temp a little bit. Alright. Rad1 says, do most guys, 121, stay in touch with the GA side of flying, or do they end up flaring 50 feet high the next time they fly Cessna? So it really depends. I know guys that have their own airplanes that fly GA regularly. After flying. Now, me, I don't know if I'd want to do that. That's just a lot of work to maintain a GA airplane, especially if you're only going to fly it a couple days a month. But yeah, there are guys that definitely maintain a relationship with GA flying. Me personally, if I got in a 172, I'd probably flare it 50 feet and stall it into the ground. But, that's where you get checked out. So I'm going to have Sam check me out in the 172 after he finishes training. Dimitri says, Portland, Main Harbor visual in the Mad Dog? Ooh. That would be a challenge, Dimitri. I think we're going to have to do that next. So we got the 727 tomorrow, which we're doing a pretty cool departure out of your fantastic scenery. Dimitri, I can't tell you how much I love that scenery you put together over there in Toncontin. But we're going to do that Toncontin to... Where are we going? Cancun to finish up the sim wings. We have a ton of giveaways, guys, so if you want to be around for that tomorrow, you don't want to miss it. $500 in giveaways. And then I have to go to work. Let me look at my schedule. So then I'm working the next 2 or 3 days. Let me see here. I start a trip, which I'll create some more shorts. I know you guys have been digging the shorts on YouTube. I like making those. They're a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm going to be headed out to work. All West Coast stuff, though. That's nice. I got a 2-day trip. I don't get back till super late Sunday. Is that Sunday night or Saturday night? Saturday night, really. So maybe Sunday. Dimitri, you might be onto something. Maybe Sunday Fun Day will round out the week with a Mad Dog flight before we get back into some Airbus stuff. It's been a long time since I've flown the Mad Dog. Portland, Maine approach would be nice. Anthony says, thanks a lot, V1. Now I got the itch to do more VOR flying. Absolutely, Anthony. That's what I'm here for, man. Travis, have I been on... sounds like I've been on the receiving end of Philly being shafted. Many times, dude. More times than I can count. If I had $1 for every time I've been shafted royally from Philadelphia, I would have probably a couple $100 for sure. Anthony, if you want to do some, I don't know if you're FS 2020, but if you want to do some VOR flying, the Arrow, the Piper Arrow in FS 2020 is a whole lot of fun to fly, especially down low. You got that scenery down low. Don't have to worry about complex jets and stuff, but it is a lot of fun to fly the Saab VOR. Now it's going to get a little bit different here as we get into the Belay intersection. Now, one thing I'm kind of concerned about, Baltimore 15-1, I should be showing...
DHL 611 ready for taxi.
DHL 611, Roy 15 right taxi via Bravo Papa.
Bravo Papa.
What's the opposite of 225? That's 045. 045 outbound. So we're off the 120 radial. I hope I have this set up right. So right about now, we're going to start the turn. So heading, come left,
Intentional aircraft Delta's current at Baltimore.
BWI up.
3004.
I'm going to start turning 225. Course 1. 225. Yeah, don't need to second guess myself. Look at that. Then go right back to nav mode. VOR 1. Active. We're navin. Inbound now to Baltimore. He gave Baltimore at 6,000 feet. So if we're at 12,000...
Vulcan 357, proceed direct to Baltimore.
Direct Baltimore, Colgan 357. All right, so we just right on time now. We're basically in. He gave us direct Baltimore now, so that eliminates any of these waypoints here. But you're on the same radial, so it doesn't matter. So direct to Baltimore, 225. I'm not even going to use the Garmin down here. We're just going to let it do its thing. But let's do quick math. So we need to cross at 6. We're at 12. That's 6 times 3, 18 miles. We're 27. We're 27 from Baltimore right now. So let's round it up. Let's give us some buffer. Let's start down at 20. Let's say 23 miles. That gives us, what, 5 miles of buffer? So I'm going to set... Because last time I didn't want to descend. So I'm going to set 6,000. I'm going to set 6,000 here in the altitude window. And at 23 miles, we're going to start down to 6,000 feet. That'll start setting us up into Baltimore. Now, I think technically we're on this arrival, so I'm going to have to use the GPS as we get over here and transition. But other than that, we'll be all right. A DCA is online, of course. So what do they got for ATIS here? Let's see. 3004 is the latest over there. So I'm going to set 3004 here on the altimeter. All right, and I'm going to just go IIS hold now. So see, this worked out. I don't know why the last time it didn't. Increase, we'll just do 200 knots there on the descent. Bring that torque back a little bit. And we're starting down. Landing 19, so we could get the river visual. Simultaneous approaches in use, blah, 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 blah. Arrivals expect ILS Victor. What? Oh no, that's Philly. RNAV, landing 191522, approaches conducted. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's information Echo 301. Oh no, 3004. 3004 set once, 3004 set twice. We're coming down the arrival. Let's pull up some other information here for DCA should we need it. I'll try to give you an outside view. It didn't really work. There we go. Let's pull up the 10.9 page. Then let's pull up the arrival. Oh no, let's pull up the approach. I'm hoping we get the river visual, 19. You heard that Newark is awful, Jeremy? It is. Everything you heard is correct. This is going to be interesting here. So as we set up for this, We're going to follow the river, 3,000. All these DMEs are off of the Washington, D.C. VOR. So we want to make sure we have that set up. 111.0.
1998 heavy.
So I'm going to set 111.0 there.
Potomac approach, UPS 19A, we're ready to pick up IFR to Los Angeles.
Yes, 1998.
All right, get ready to go through 10,000. Let's get our lights back on.
Altitude is valid. 420 I cannot give you due to the RVSM. Can you accept flight level 400 or 380?
Hey, kid named Kenny, what's up, man? Welcome back to the stream. All is well, my friend. We're starting our descent here into Washington, D.C.
Transmission came up static.
Saab virtual checklist, descent check, briefing complete, ice protection set, cabin set. Everything is set. We'll leave that CTO off for now. We're looking good.
Ready to copy. Clearance UPS 19A.
UPS 1998 cleared to the Los
After
Angeles
Baltimore, it's a
Airport for
234
departure,
outbound to eyes.
Climb via the SID, expect flight level 400 as amended, 10 minutes after departure. Departure is going to be with me, squawk 2421.
Alright, cleared at LAX via the 36.
I'm going to just resync the GPS here.
UPS 1998 heavy, readback is correct, expect runway 15 right for departure, information Delta is earned.
There we go. So I've got our GPS set up for the rest of the arrival, but essentially we've navigated this entire flight going VOR to VOR.
Colgan 357, contact Potomac approach, 119 airport 85, see ya.
1985, we'll see you at Colgan 357. All right, 10 miles to go. We're 3,000, 369. We're looking good.
Quebec 3963, descend and maintain 12,000.
12,000, number 3963.
Approach, good afternoon. Colgan 357, 8.9, descending across Baltimore, 6,000. Information echo.
Colgan 357, Potomac approach, good afternoon. Expect the river visual, runway 19 approach, Washington, altimeter 3004.
Roger that. We'll expect river visual 19, 3004 in the box for Colgan 357. All right, just as we briefed, guys, 9 miles to go, 8.5 on the altitude. Beautiful, beautiful. Fires, what's going on? Hello from the school bus. Well, welcome. Scott, you love the shorts? Good to hear it, man. Good to hear it. Shouldn't I make the VOR frequency active? It is active, Christian. Right, we're going to Baltimore, so it's the active free. How long did it take me to upgrade from FO to captain in the bus? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 years? Almost 5?
357, turn right heading 250, vectors to final.
Right turn heading 250, Colgan 357. All right, right turn 250, here we go. So now we're going to go in heading mode. So now that we're in heading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make DCA the active VOR. Now I'm doing that because we are going to be getting, let's go ahead and clean up our things here. We don't need that chart, so let's keep it nice and clean. We have to use the DMEs, right? So I want my DME reference off of what I got here, which is 29.6. That's going to be our DC 111.0. Now, theoretically, you could probably make an approach course to run 19, but it's not right on the runway, so
3963, cross Fitbug, at or above 2,000.
I don't know if that would be a good technique or not, but always want to do something with your needles if you can. So at least I got the runway. I got the runway course in there. I'm not really paying attention to the CDI anymore, but I am paying attention to the DME. So the distance is 28 miles. And now we can see like a 10-mile arc. We should be at 3,000 and 1,800 at 6 miles and so forth. All right, we're almost at 6,000. There's 1,000 to go. As we level at 6,000 here, we'll get our juice back in. Is that old B-Wee down there? That's all Baltimore down there. That's B-Wee down there behind us. Vertical sim. What's up, Flip? It says V1, how much harder would the 732 be to fly compared to 738 on X-Plane? The 732 is way less automated, as David says. So I wouldn't say necessarily that it's harder. It's just there's a lot. You have to look at how you're going to navigate. The proper way to fly the 732, in my opinion, is either VOR navigation or with the SIVA INS. You can use the default FMC if you want, but if you're going to use the FMC to navigate, then you might as well fly the Zibo or the 73800. The 732, to me, specializes in that rudimentary flying. Using the INS is fun. Using VOR navigation is fun. So, you know, as far as operating the aircraft, it's relatively similar. The way you start the engines, the way you got to trip your generators, your fuel pumps, all that. And a Boeing is still a Boeing. That's what, you know, they've done a good job of keeping a Boeing throughout the different models that they've designed. But as far as navigation, old school 732 is the way to do it. Tom Pasco, what's going on, man? Just got back from the beach. You didn't miss anything, man. We are radar vectors now for the River Visual 19. I'm getting hungry, man. It's been a long stream. Need to check out the new update, BWI. I'll have to check it out, Travis. I did not know there was an update to Baltimore there. I really enjoyed his last one. Turn that down a little bit loud there, those engines. I like the sound in the 732 as well. That's what we're saying. 732 has got some really good sound. Now the Zibo is also really, really good at sound. They're both, I mean, they're just different airplane, different year. Same airplane, different year of design. Dimitri, is that new vertical sim Baltimore pretty heavy on the PC? Oh, it's $8 upgrade if you have it already? Yeah, I definitely have it already. Nope. Kid named Kenny, that is Fork Boy Ortho on the ground. Fork Boy Ortho. Sam says, I don't want to hit a sore spot, but have you fixed your rage with Flight Sim 2020 or still a bit upset? No rage. I haven't even attempted to get back into it yet, so maybe after the stream I'll probably set it up and try it again. I struggle with, I don't know. It looks beautiful. It looks so good. But there's just a lot of things I struggle with in that platform right now. But I am going to get back in. I know I keep saying that, but now that at least it's running and not crashing on me, we'll be able to get in the stream, some stuff. But there's just been some good planes that I've totally forgot about flying here on X-Plane, you know, the Saab 340 being one of them, 727 flying tomorrow. So there's just so many good options here on X-Plane. I don't really want to fly a modded airplane. Not talking about the fly-by-wire, but I know there's modded airplane. Like the CJ4 mod I heard is really good, but I have to get that all set up. I don't even know where to start on that one. I think the 787, I believe I watched some of XP stream yesterday. He was flying a 787 heavy mod, which makes it a little bit better. But Other than those two airplanes, man, or those three, and really personally for me, the only one I have any interest in is that fly-by-wire 320. Slam says, if you choose not to install the mesh, you can get an FPS boost from Baltimore. Awesome. See, I never left Vulcan, or I never left OpenGL, Slam. I haven't left OpenGL yet.
Colgan 357, descend and maintain 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000, Colgan 357. All right, so we're going to go ahead and set 3,000 feet here. We're going to do an IAS descent as well. 210 knots, beautiful. Bring that torque back. Let's make sure we get that descent rate going. Right about 50% torque. Seems to be a nice stable descent here in that 200-foot range. So we've got that set. Down we go. Nice little crosswind out there. There's DC over there somewhere. Looks awful green. I hope we have a scenery loaded. Blue Games, what's up, man? He says, would love your opinion on what fly-by-wire has done with the A320 Blue. I know there's a couple guys asking about that. I'm definitely going to get in it. I was all set to fly it last week, and then the update, one of the...
357, turn left, heading 190, report the river in sight.
Left turn 190, report the river in sight, Colgan 357. All right, we got to pay attention there. 190 on the heading. Let's increase that rate of descent. There's the river. River in sight, Colgan 357.
Colgan 357, clear river visual, runway 19 approach.
Clear river visual 19, Colgan 357. So, whatever. I mean, at least I got FS 2020 is stable now on my system, so I am looking forward to giving it a shot. I got to get I had a little PlayStation controller I was using for camera views, which was pretty nice, and I left it at my house. So I got to find that and bring it to the office so I get my views set up again. But the sounds, I did do a test flight in the fly-by-wire 320. It's probably the best sounding Airbus that we have on a sim. I mean, Hotshot has done some incredible work with that airplane. It blows my mind. All right, so here we go. I'm going to have to get off the chat here for a second so we can pay attention here. So here's the river. We're at 10 miles, cross at 3,000. We're a little bit high. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go all the way off here on that thrust. Not all the way, but almost. Let's get our CTOT on. That is checked. Auto coursing is
357, 180 at 9, runway 19, clear to land.
19 clear to land, Colgan 357. All right, here we go. Autopilot's coming off. Flight director's off. And we're 8.7. So the next one we want to hit is 1,800. So we got to slow down there. Let's go ahead and bring that prop full forward. Let's get our volume back up. Altitude alert check. We'll leave 3,000 set for the go-around. 7.3 miles. We're looking to hit 6 miles at 1,800, so we're a little bit high. Let's go gear down.
Mark 3963 west 190 runway 16, clear to land.
130 left, Mark 3963.
Below 160, flaps in. Okay, 6 miles. We're about 200 feet high now. 1,000 feet below, check. Go around altitude 3,000 is set. 8 miles, 1,800 feet, or 6 miles, 1,800 feet, so we're looking good. Following the bridge. The big one that we want to hit when you're flying this approach, you definitely want to be rolling out here. 3 miles, 900 feet. That's a big one that you want to hit. 3 miles at 900. So we're going to keep coming down. Get the last couple notches of flaps in there, 25. Now we got wind out of the south. So this is where you got to be careful you don't get blown into P56. So you're really going to hug the right side of the river, coming back to 120 knots, approaching 4 DME, recommended 1,500. So we're a little bit low now. We can shallow out that descent, get a little power back in there. Let's go ahead and shallow out that descent now. Three miles, 900 feet. So we're at 3.9. We're looking good. My favorite view is coming in when I was sitting on the right side anyway, was making this right turn here by the hotels. All right, flaps 30,000 feet, clear to land. Gear is down. Props full forward. A little bit low. We're going to, for cinematic purposes here. All right, so here's that wind's going to want to blow you to the left, so hug the right side. Right along that right-hand riverbank. Now you see here, you want to keep that bank angle in. Don't climb. There you go. Keep coming down. Beautiful. This is much easier in a prop than it is in an Embraer or an Airbus, that's for sure. So what I used to always do is when you set it up for this final turn here, you'll see this road makes a turn right about here. Just follow that turn almost like you want to land on the road. That should give you a nice turn to final. Yeah, doing 110 knots in here is nice and easy as opposed to 150, 140, that's for sure. All right, 500 feet. A little bit high now. All right, so I see that turn there on that road. Just kind of match that turn like you want to land on the road. 300 feet over the bridge, we're looking good. 2 whites, or 1 white, 1 red. That was one ugly DC scenery, I'll give you that. Right on the slope, though, we're looking good. 120, I'm going to start walking that back a little bit. Oh, 54. Reverse. 60 knots. Oh, 54 feet per minute. I'll take that. It says not on a runway, but we clearly are. Whew. All right, 54 feet per minute.
3962, welcome to Richmond. Taxi to the ramp via Lima, Charlie Alpha, cross runway 20.
Was that for Colgan 357?
Welcome to Washington. Taxi ramp via
Oh, God.
Good night, see ya.
Over to Park and have a good night. Thanks for the ATC, Colgan 357. I heard him say, welcome to Richmond. I about had a heart attack because I thought, did I just land at the wrong airport? Oh my gosh. All right, so we're good. Let's go ahead and clear the runway here. We'll leave our taxi light on, strobes off. Let's clean it up. Flaps are coming back up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Washington National. That's how you do a river visual on the Saab.
Customer Capitani approach is now closed. No further ATCs available. Monitoring com 122.8.
Awesome. So we have a little ATC just for a flight. I appreciate that. No, I don't have Unicom set up, but hey, I appreciate y'all coming on for a little bit of ATC.
Donation.
E-Boss, thank you so much for the $11 donation. Man, it says, lovely flight, Captain. Thanks for the amazing river visual. E-Boss, thank you so much, man, for that donation. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I'm going to want to see that replay for sure. All right, landing check, auto coursing off. Oh, that's the wrong one. After landing. Auto coursing off, ice protection, gust lock. Externalize HP valves closed. Differential pressure checked, flaps up, transponder standby. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to kill engine number 1. I'm going to need a little bit of juice here with gonna need some juice here with the number 2 engine. Yeah, I know. Wow, she does not want to taxi on one engine, huh? Alright, we're going to go over here to the RJ gates. What do we got over there? Is that a 737 American? Beautiful. All the little prop drivers, all the dash trash used to collect over here on this side. My first flight ever in the 121, I told you, was out of DC. I commuted in from Philly on a dash trash, parked over here. I had to lug my 80-pound flight kit, my suitcase, everything through the snow, get on the bus, and then they drop you off somewhere over here, and they had to drop us off further than normal because it's construction, and I had to lug all my stuff through the snow. It was just a mess, man. Talk about being stressed out. Alright, let's go ahead and not hit that bus. I believe this is a parking spot right here. Okay, well, you're just going to park right in front of me, huh? We'll go ahead and take this. Oh, it's icy. It's backwards. Not to worry. We'll take this parking spot over here. 35 Delta. I don't care who you are. That's a cool view when you see the prop coming in here. One prop still. Perfect. Almost like it was designed for the Saab. Taxi light off. Brake is on. Now, theoretically, we'd connect the ground power before shutting down the other engine, but I don't know if that'll mess with the sounds. So I'm just going to go ahead and... Or, I'm sorry, not sounds, but mess with the replay. Don't want to be dragging a GPU truck on the replay. So we're going to skip the whole shutdown procedure. Go replay mode for you guys. And Dimitri said that maybe... Oops, forgot to disconnect from VATSIM. That's right, auto disconnect. That's good. Now, Dimitri was saying that it might be able to do it through Saab volume control. No, nothing there, dude. That sucks, man. I wish I could do the sounds. That's alright. Where we at? We gotta get to the hotel turn real quick. Let's back it up a little bit. Right here. This is the best shot. This is the best shot in the house right here. We're gonna play it. This is where everyone's freaking out. They're like, oh my gosh, we're so close to the buildings. But you're actually not. Like, see, we're over the river. You just cut that cheese right there, man. It's perfect. Right on the side of that bank. Because P56 is right here. And you get a strong south wind. It'll start pushing you over on that turn. You'll slide way out over the river. People start really freaking out because then you might get shot down. Dimitri says, good looking out, Captain. Great stream. Got to go to work now. Catch you on the next one. Dimitri, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Hope you enjoyed the Saab 340. I love this bird. Take care, buddy. Thank you for your tech. Have a good one. No ERP sound? No, we didn't do it this time, Aaron. That's cool, that Washington Monument right there. The Watergate whip. Alright, here we go. Here's another turn. Nice one, though. Let's see what we got here on the runway. Runway view. Oh, that's cool. That is a cool shot. Berto, have a good one. Take it easy, bud. Oh, we're on the wrong runway. Come on. There it is. Look at that lineup, though. 10 for 10 on the lineup out of the turn. Are you serious? That might have been one of my best lineups onto the turn. Not bad. Take it easy, Dougal. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I mean, that was... I mean, it didn't seem that smooth, but I'll take it. I will take that for sure. Alright guys, it's been a long stream. Mods, thank you for hanging out with me. Sponsors, members, donos, thank you so much for all your support here on the V1 channel. I really appreciate that. Tomorrow, guys, as a reminder, we are giving away $500 as we fly the 727 from Taunton to Cancun as we wrap up the SimWings project. So it's the SimWings way of giving back to you guys as they bring the project to a close. Hope you guys tune in for that one. Everyone hanging out with me in chat today, I appreciate it. It's been a little bit of a longer stream, but it's been nice, relaxed, do a little turboprop flying, take a break from the old jet stuff, burning those turbine engines all the time. It's nice to mix it up every now and then. So I appreciate well, that one's at 564, jeez. So if you're just hanging out with me in chat, appreciate it. Hit the like button for me on the way out. And I'm going to be seeing you guys tomorrow. So until then, you'll have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'm V1. Stay safe. Stay healthy. See ya.